that we're going to bring to this platform tonight to be able to share with you a little bit about their testimony, but also some information which could impact you going forward. So I am grateful every time we have the chance to be on this platform. I take it serious. I don't take it for granted. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to share something that I'm passionate about and something that has truly, truly changed my life. You know, when Randy and I and the rest of the guys were putting this together, when we're coming up for the name Father Power, you know, the name Father Power is interesting because it actually comes from a very famous tape. But it just seemed like it was so right for this moment in time, this moment in history, when there's so many things going on within our community, outside our community, within the trading community, outside the trading community. And it just seemed like this was the right time to have an event of this caliber where we got together as men, as we got together as fathers, and we got together and we presented a platform of solution, a platform that could bring us forward, a platform that could help us grow out of where we currently are. And so I am excited about what we're going to do tonight. And so my job tonight is just simply just be your host and guide you through the program. And I'm thankful for that opportunity. So with that being said, if I can get everybody, please, to go ahead and throw in the chat and let us know where it is that you are checking in from today, where it is that you are participating in our program. I see we've got Houston, Texas. I see we got the Bahamas. I see we got Tampa, Florida in the house. We got Fort Worth, Miss Gasolina. We got Little Rock, Arkansas, Mr. Shannon Stewart. We got Mobile, Alabama, Miss Ingram. Welcome to the call. Welcome, welcome. We got Little Rock again. Little Rock well represented. I see we got the Colony, Texas. We got Yannette from Germany in the house. We got Miramar, Florida, Louisville, Denton, Texas. That's where I'm from, right here in Denton, Texas, ATL. So folks, we are literally all over the world represented tonight on this particular program, this particular platform. Thank you guys for participating. Thank you guys for helping us make a difference. Thank you guys for helping us celebrate and kicking off Father's Day weekend the right way with Father Power. So listen, with that being said, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Our program is going to be broken down into a few steps. We're going to talk to you a little bit about what it is that we're all a part of, what brought this community of men together. We're going to talk to you a little bit about that. We're going to show you some examples of how you could empower yourself with financial literacy from some people who are experts in the skill set that our academy teaches, that our platform promotes. We're going to give you an opportunity to hear from one of the premier world-class entrepreneurs that we really have. I call him Mr. Black Excellence, and we'll talk about him in a little bit later. And we're also going to give you guys the opportunity to hear sort of a roundtable discussion from some men as fathers as to what it is and why what we're doing is so important. And so I'm excited. That's a little bit about the layout of what's going to take place so you know what to look forward to, and you have a lot to look forward to. Okay? You have a lot to look forward to. But I'm going to stop talking and minimize this about me because I want you guys to hear from these men that we've assembled today, from these fathers that we've assembled today. So the first person that we're going to have the opportunity to hear from is a gentleman that I got the chance to meet about 1.5 years ago, just online, a gentleman from the Caribbean, from the Bahamas, 242, stand up. And man, I got to tell you, from the first interaction that I had with this brother, I knew he was serious. I knew that he had a calling. I knew that he had an anointing. I knew that he had a purpose of what it is that he was doing. At the time, I didn't even know he was a dad, but I knew he was driven and I knew he had a drive. And I knew that this young man had crystallized a why for what he was doing, a why for why he was doing the things that he was doing. And as I began to see him begin to grow and I began to see the Bahamas begin to grow, he has turned into a formidable leader, one of the greatest leaders that we have in our organization. He's an incredible dad. He used to be a member of the police force. He's retired now. I'm excited to bring him to you. Mr. Edwin Pender, are you on the line, sir?
Yes, sir, I am. And I'm grateful to be a part of this wonderful call, Andre, and I'm going to dive right into it. My name is Edwin Pender. I'm from Freeport, Grand Bahama. I am the son of Bishop Edwin and Mother Alma Pender. I have 7 sisters. One is deceased, and no brothers. I am a father of 3, 2 boys and 1 6-month-old little princess. And so I am happy and grateful and humbled to be a part of this call. I didn't get a lot of time to actually prepare my mind for this call, but in driving today, I just thought about this briefly. And the thought came to my mind about the passage of scripture of Joseph in the Bible, how Joseph was thrown in the pit by his brothers and he was sold, and he actually ended up in a prison situation, and then he actually went to the palace. And so growing up in church, I always hear people speak about from the pit to the palace. And as I thought about that, and I thought about you actually going after success, and just in my little 5-minute talk to Eddie, I came up that success is basically you have to align yourself in a system to be successful. And it is through you being connected to certain systems that you will be able to gain knowledge and also deliver your people. Because Joseph was thrown in the pit, he was sold, he was put in prison, and then he actually became a member of an organization under a king, where when the land experienced some famine, he was the one that his brothers had to come to for deliverance. And so I say that to say to some fathers, your family is depending on you. Your kids is depending on you. There are some people out there who basically is at their last, and they're waiting on Andre, on Anthony, on Randy to come into their own for them to be delivered. And like Andre said, I was introduced to this concept about 2.5 years ago, and immediately I said yes. And when I clicked join to I Am Master Academy, I made a decision that I was going to share the opportunity of financial deliverance to everybody that I come in contact with. And so being a police officer here in the Bahamas, going on the road, going to crime scenes of break-ins and stealings, all that stuff like that. When I really take the statement from the complainant, then I now engage in other conversation. Have you ever heard about foreign exchange trading? And so even in their dark situation, in that situation where they felt as if they were raped, they were robbed of whatever, I was there trying to be that beacon of light, bringing hope to them to say, listen, yes, you've lost that, but there is the other way. And so fathers, those of you who are guests in this call, please send a message right now to the persons that invited you on this call and just say thank you, because they brought you here to introduce you to another way. You might have been worried about how you're going to pay certain bills in the next couple of months because of what's going on in the world, whatever, but guess what? There is another way. I'm reminded of one of my mentors, Randy. He came over here and he experienced the Bahamas like none other. He's on the beach, and I heard him speak about it over and over. He had this little premonition or this come to Jesus moment, like I call it. You're on the beach in the Bahamas with your cell phone on a beach chair. You have no customers, no clients, no product, no service. How would you be able to make money in that situation? And we have the answer to that tonight. And so we basically going to introduce you to an educational platform that's going to teach you how to trade in the foreign exchange market. The screen that you see right here is just a 4-way pie chart that actually shows the 4 legal ways that you can make money in the world. 60% of us work for someone, have a 9-to-5, we go on job, we trade our time for money. Now, we know that inflation causes the cost of living to go up, and like you have bills and bills and bills and bills and bills. You have school fees, electricity bill, gas, groceries, all these things. And so you may find yourself in a situation now where your money that you're making is not adding up to your bills. And so there may become a desire now for more money. In this equation, in this 60%, where 60% of the people in the world fall into, in order for you to now have more money, you have to invest more time. And when you invest more time in your job, then that means you invest more time away from your family, your friends, and the things that you enjoy most. And so we know that in this 60%, that's a losing battle. Growing up here in the Bahamas, you hear a lot of young people, listen, I'm going to school. I'm going to get my degree. I'm going to get this certificate. When I come to school, I'm going to open up my own mechanic shop, my own beauty salon, my own welding shop. But you're now considered self-employed. The only thing you did, you start working for someone else and you're working for yourself. But your time is still attached to your money. Because if you were to save up $2,000, $3,000, you go on a vacation. When that $2,000 is already depleted, you now have to run back home to your shop to make more money. And so you are losing in that equation. So we're just here to encourage you. Let's change our mindset. Let's try to get on the right side of this pie chart, which represents the 4% of persons in the world that are business owners who has created systems that whether they are there or not, money is being made. We're talking about companies, franchises like Burger King, McDonald's, Kentucky. Listen, the Colonel is not in Kentucky. He is not in every Kentucky. But money is being made because he created a system. And while I'm on that, a lot of persons, you set out to do certain things, business ventures and all these other things. And because we don't make $1 million the first day, the first week, the first month, we give up. I mentioned the Colonel. The Colonel tried over 100 times to get a franchise. And if he had given up when he was 45 years old, he would not have the money that he made in this time. But I think he was about 62 or 63 years old when he heard yes to his franchise. And so I just want to plug that in right there to say to somebody, don't give up. Success is right around the corner. And so we're back now to the pie chart, the 1% of investor mindset. That is basically where most of us on this call who are part of this opportunity fall, and where we take our capital and we invest it and we actually get a return. And so moving right along, have you ever heard of the exchange market? The exchange market basically comprises of two markets, the foreign exchange market and the digital currency market. Welcome to the foreign exchange market. The foreign exchange market is now a $6.3 trillion a day market. It is a market that's open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. And so for us here on the eastern side of the world, the market is open 5 p.m. on Sunday, and it doesn't close until 5 p.m. on the Friday after that. And so from Sunday at 5 p.m., rain, sun, hail, tornado, once you have internet, once you have a cell phone, once you have a broker account, once you have funds in an account, you could go on your cell phone or your laptop and you could trade in the foreign exchange market. The wonderful thing about this market is that no one owns the foreign exchange market. And no matter how much stones they throw at learning the skill of trading foreign exchange, it has been here a long time and it has nowhere to go. Because once there's countries doing business with each other, we will have foreign exchange. And so those of you who will say yes to this opportunity, you're in something that is recession-proof, bulletproof, everything you could think of, proof. Haters proof, like it is just, it's proof. You understand? And so the next slide, you can also exchange in this market without actually owning physical currency. And so what it simply saying is that, listen, even though it's a $7.3 trillion a day market, you could open up a broker account, you could put $50 in your broker account, and you could trade in this market. You don't have to be like the wealthy and those who have thousands of dollars to start trading. You could start at some brokers may allow you to start an account with $50, and all you do what the bank does with our money every day. Because I didn't say it, but once you have a bank account and once you travel, you already you already participated in the foreign exchange market. The little $2 that you put in the bank take that and they trade in the same market. They make profit from your money, and then they lend something to Adina. And when they get their little interest back from Adina, then they lend something to Andre and to Randy. And so that little $2 that you have in the bank, they're making money upon money upon money. And you feel as if that you having this money in the bank, you're actually benefiting. But there's a parable in the Bible, and like I said earlier, this is Father's Day. This is our Father's Day special. So My father is a bishop. And so, like I said earlier, there's a parable of the talents. There's one who was given 1 talent, and he took his talent and he put it in the bank. He buried it because he said, listen, when the ruler come back, I don't want this fella mash me up. I don't want this fella rob me. I know he's always looking for something that he don't own. And so we put it in the bank. And when the master came back, he said, you wicked and slothful servant. And so our money is our own employer. That is for us to actually send out there and make more money. And so moving right along, I don't want to keep you on too long. And so the digital currency market, I know some of you might have heard about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple. All these things are actually digital currency. And digital currency isn't something that you could hold like the regular fiat currency. These are things that are identified by barcodes and sequence of numbers and letters, whatever. But this market is actually going towards $1 trillion and is becoming the future of how we deal with money today. And it's becoming a global form of payment for everyday purchases everywhere. You have countries who actually have Bitcoin ATMs where you could go to the ATM and you could purchase a certain amount of Bitcoin. In this market, you could actually also trade without owning physical currency. And so, like I said, what we are introducing to you tonight is I Am Mastery Academy. I Am Mastery Academy is simply an educational platform that makes learning foreign exchange trading simple. You get to master the market, knowing how to build real wealth and freedom. And so in this academy, you have access to over 100 pre-recorded videos. These videos range from 2.5 minutes long to about 15 minutes long, depends on the series you're in, because you have series 100, series 200, straight up to advanced. And the plus about this academy is what you're seeing on the screen right now. We have go live session where you get to connect, collaborate, and ask questions, learn from experts in the market. We have over 130 full-time educators. And I always say this when I do the presentations. You go to school, you get a degree of business administration. You're in a class with a lecturer who is using all these big words and he's telling you all these things. At the end of your course, he's going to be the one that's going to sign off on your certificate to say that you have your bachelor's degree. But if you were to stop the class and say, hey, I heard all that stuff that you read from the book. I saw the things that you read on the chalkboard. How about you tell us your experience? How about you tell us about the business that you run and how much money did you make in that company? Most times they can't, because the only thing they do is they actually follow the same system that they're trying to get you to follow through. Where they read a book, they recite some information, they took a quiz, they passed the exam, now they're a doctor, professor, lecturer, all these things, but they never made any money. And so in this academy, you're learning from 6-figure traders, 7-figure, sometimes 8-figure traders. These guys and ladies already done the heavy lifting. And so it's like you getting to play on a basketball team with a LeBron James, a Michael Jordan, or Edwin Pinder. Yeah, I got my skills on the court too. And so you get to actually leverage and play with the best in the industry. And so there's nothing that could compare to that. Now you have a lot of wannabe Michael Jordans and LeBron James out there, but I Am Mastery Academy has been around for a long time. It has been the first forex education platform out there, and everybody else out there is actually behind. And so, like I said, you get to learn from the best, and you get to learn at your own time. And so we have these sessions where it's just like a calendar. You could go into your back office and you say, listen, okay, I want to watch Justin Sandy on market structure at 10 p.m. on Monday. Set your alarm. The alarm go off, you sign into your account. 10 p.m. Justin Sandy is there and he's doing a live education session. If he says something that you don't understand, type in the chat, hey, Justin, I didn't understand that, could you go back? And you have an opportunity now for him to go back, explain it. So this is actually where you get to now leverage from the best. And also you have live mentorship. We have what we call Pip Talk. Just like WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, all these messaging platforms that we use is similar to that. But the only thing is now that you actually are connected with one of the educators that you could speak to. Hey, listen, I was watching this video. I don't understand that. And these guys would take the time to 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 teach you the strategies that they use to be successful as they are in. Because why? You're now being introduced to a company whose heart is about empowering the people. Our CEO, Mr. Christopher Terry, his mission: educate, empower, and enrich 1 million customers, 1 million families before the end of the year 2020. And you could be a part of that. The only thing that's separating you is one decision. And so it gets even better. Like I said, our mission is to make trading and learning trading as simple as possible. And so you get to choose your weapon. What you're looking at right now is strategies and tools to make your trading journey more profitable. I'm going to highlight one of them, the harmonic scanner. Once you've already registered with this company, you have access to this. This device acts just as what it is, a scanner. And so you may have some issues with your car. So you say, listen, I'm going to take this to the mechanic. Go to the mechanic shop. I want you to put this car on a diagnostic test. Tell me what's wrong. The mechanic hook your car up, do a little 5-minute test. You have a bad sensor. You have this, you have that. These scanners even tell you when your tire flat. And so just as they do that, you have now a software that scans the foreign exchange market and give you high probability trade. It gives you your entry price, your target point, and your stop loss. I would go on record by saying this, and this is my personal opinion and my belief. When I speak to people about trading foreign exchange, they said that it's risky. But in my experience, when I did what I was taught in IM Mastery Academy, I think for me, that took the risk out of it. Because there's something called a stop loss that is so awesome. That stop loss basically gave me the power to say, listen, when I press place or modify, I know, Edwin know that this trade, I'm either gonna make $100 or I'm gonna lose $10. Tell me which restaurant owner could calculate their loss at the end of the day, the week, or the month. Tell me which clothing store could say that I'm gonna sell 20 jeans at the end of the day, 30 jeans at the end of the month. You just type in the chat and tell me. And so I think plugging in and actually committing to learning the skill set through an education academy like IM Mastery Academy takes all the risk out of trading. Because from you going that trade, you already made up your mind, listen, this is what I want, and this is what I'm willing to risk. And so to me, foreign exchange trading is only risky if you're not educated properly. And in IM Mastery Academy, I am confident that we have the best thing out there. Again, our goal is to make your trading experience simplified and profitable. And so this company and its awesome leaders, we have learn and earn on the go products, such as swipe trades, gold cup, and swipe coin. Again, we have experts doing the heavy lifting, doing all the work, doing all the homework. And for those persons out there who busy, who run around, who managing multiple businesses, you get a little text alert on your phone. Hey, I'm looking to buy this, sell this, enter this price, take profit that. You take 2 minutes, put those numbers in, and continue on your day. At the end of the day, you check it. Like these products and softwares are between 85 to 95% accurate. I would go with them any day. 85%, I'm gonna follow you. You understand? And so, listen, they take all the work, they take the risk and everything out of your trading journey. And so, IM Mastery Academy is hands down the best thing in my opinion. And so, you may be wondering right now, like, Eddie has been running off for the past couple of minutes about this academy, and he has been saying some good things. He's been saying that that this academy basically sets you up to be successful. You have mentorship going to bed. You like I like I don't know how to explain it, but I had the opportunity to travel to London a few weeks back. And I'm glad that my mentor Randy wasn't there when this happened. Because I don't want him to see that I'm the black version of Steve Harvey. I mean, like the black version of Steve Harvey, right? I start to get emotional really quick. I think that I don't know where that side come from, mommy or daddy, whatever. But as I walk towards the London Bridge, I'm thinking about my childhood days, and I'm thinking about growing up in McLeanstown. McLeanstown, let me see if I could paint this picture for those of you who don't know. There is Freeport, Grand Bahama, or there's Grand Bahama. Freeport is the city, and McLeanstown is a small settlement near the water, way on the eastern end of the island, way on the eastern end. And so it's like a fishing village. When I'm in McLeanstown now, I want you guys to forget this at the end of this call, but when I'm in McLeanstown, I walk around bare feet and bare back. I remember growing up running on conch shell and stuff like my feet used to break conch shell. That's how bad I was when I was younger. And so I just paint that picture, right? I grew up in that environment. There are persons that I knew all my life who grew up to be 60, 70, 80, 90, and some of them are not here today. And I never heard them say that I had an opportunity to travel to Las Vegas and walk across the stage with my Bahamas flag. I never heard them speak about them being able to travel to somewhere like London. The only thing I heard about London when I was growing up as a child is that London Bridge is falling down. And as I walked towards the bridge, I'm like, hold on. If they say London Bridge is falling down, that means this bridge is supposed to be broken up. But this bridge is beautiful. And so my little Steve Harvey, little tears start to flow. And I kid you not, we have 38 people on this call right now. I reflected on the opportunity when this was presented to me, and I could have said no, but I said yes. That yes afforded me privileges that a lot of people in my family never had. I have siblings that are older than me. My parents, I've never heard them speak about traveling to Las Vegas or to London. I can't think of hardly anybody in my immediate family who's able to see that part of the world. But what if I said no? When I think about the amount of people whose lives I was able to impact in this 2.5 years, what if I said no? Like I said earlier, I could only present to you an opportunity to become a part of this education platform. A one-time fee of $234.95, and after 30 days, you have a monthly fee of $174.95. I could only present or introduce this opportunity to you, but it's up to you to make a decision. It is up to you to say yes or to say no. It's up to you to say, listen, I'm going to be the vessel that God is going to use to help free my family, to take my nation to, listen, it is all up to you. Randy doesn't dictate how much money I make in this opportunity. Andre, none of my mentors, none of my leaders. It is up to me to say yes. And my yes opened up, like I said, a whole different world for me. Sometimes I know, I hear Andre them and Randy them always say, Edwin, you're a great leader, but it's like every day I'm living a dream. And the Bible said that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the heart of man what God have prepared for you. You just have to see the wisdom and the opportunity and just say yes. That yes may change your life. You may see people who's actually living lavishly and they changing cars every year, they upgrading their houses, their children going to the best school. They just might have said yes. They just might have said yes. And so, because you are on this call tonight, everything is planned on a day by God. You are here tonight to hear this information because you had to be here, because God ordained this before you were created. You're a father tonight and you're on this call because God ordained you to be here at this time. This basically like ends my part of the presentation, but I just want to just remind you guys in closing. I watched a article or a video by Steve Harvey a few years ago, and this is one of the things that always stuck with me. Steve Harvey said that you could be on a cliff of life with a nice parachute on your back, and you're watching people soar by, and you're only saying, "Wow, I wonder if I could do that. Wow, like this guy is successful. He's amazing. He is this." But if you never jump off that cliff, you just would never know. A lot of us are not to the place that we desire in life because we playing it safe, because we ain't jumping. But trust me, like I said, the Bible say, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has entered the heart of man what God have prepared for you. Somebody please jump. I'm begging you tonight, please. Human beings, we make on average about 20,000 decisions every day. And a lot, we make them only because we are not conscious that we have to make those decisions. Because we let fear hold us back. We let doubt. But fear is of the enemy. The Bible, let's go, fathers. My father is a bishop, and so I'm only basically sharing with you what my father poured into me. And so that's why tonight, like we have in church, you understand? That, listen, fathers, our children is only going to be what we pour into them. And so in closing, I know, see, my dad is a Baptist. That's why I said I close in 2 or 3 times. But if you born poor, and this is honestly my last point. If you born poor, you could blame everybody in your family. You could blame your granddaddy, your daddy, your mommy. You could blame all of them for what they didn't do. But I'm here to tell you on this call tonight that if you die in the state that you were born in, if you're born less fortunate and poor, you're the only one to blame. And so you have an opportunity tonight just to do some things a little bit different from you've been doing it. You can't do the same thing every day, every year, and expect a different results. If you want different, if you want to end 2020 strong, just make a decision and say yes. Andre, back over to you, sir.
Oh, shit. Listen, folks, I told y'all we was bringing it tonight. I told you the name of the program was Father Power, not fatherhood. It was Father Power, because the people that we bringing on tonight are powerful fathers, are powerful men who are going to be able to share something with you, who are coming from the heart. Listen, he shared with you an academy. He shared with you an academy that could teach you the skill set. But if all you saw was forex and learning forex, you missed the whole message that man just delivered. You missed how he just spoke from his heart. You missed how he said this is a fatherhood call, and I'm pouring into you what my father poured into me. Anyway, folks, listen, we are going to give you guys something special now. We talked a little bit about the academy. Thank you, by the way, Edwin Pender. You are a phenomenal leader. That was a phenomenal message and a phenomenal job. I can't wait until we can get into the back end of this to hear a little bit more from you, sir. But listen, we're going to get now into a little bit of what we like to call the skill set of money, the what the academy teaches. Edwin outlined for you beautifully how we have all of these tremendous educators, these Michael Jordans, so to speak, of the industry, and you can copy and paste and you can use their strategies and how effective those strategies are. But you're also signing up to educate yourself. See, one of the great things about our academy is while you're learning, you have the ability to earn. But the key is that you're here to participate in your own rescue. You're here to say what? That financially, where I am up to right now is not working. My decisions have not worked the way that I thought they would. And so therefore, I need more information in order to make better decisions going forward. And so it's up to you to teach yourself how to trade along with the educators of the academy. You can make money along the way, but you're here to get the skill set so that, as Edwin said, you could be on the beaches of the world. You could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be that you're on vacation. You could be out somewhere serving people. You could be out somewhere helping people, and you could come up with a trade idea. You could fund your whole mission trip while you're on your mission trip. You understand what I'm saying? Right now, we're talking about our communities are in turmoil and all this type of stuff. But the problem that we've always had in underserved communities, that in order to change the community, we have to ask the same people that created the environment in which we needed to change for the money in order to change it. I hope you caught that. Because we didn't have the resources, the money ourselves to be able to do what we needed was necessary. So what happens is we go to people who are philanthropic in nature and we ask them for the money to make the changes that are necessary, but they put stipulations on those changes in order to make sure that the changes are subtle, but not enough to make real change. See, we need the ability to have our own resources, our own money, our own cash cows, as the great Randy Webb always says, in order to be able to develop and enrich and empower our own communities. And so with that being said, the skill set that we're going to talk to you about tonight, the skill of trading, the skill is what we're going to be able to bring to you tonight in the next two presenters that we have. See, Wanda Webb said something that encapsulated the entirety of my life, the entirety of the mission of my life, which was to empower underserved communities all around the world. And what she said is exactly what I saw when I saw forex. What she said one day shook me to my core, because she was able to, in a sentence or two, be able to sum up what this is really about. And Wanda Webb said, when I saw forex, I saw a way to get back everything they took from my ancestors. Folks, if you learn the skill, you can get back everything they took from your ancestors. You can provide a vehicle that can create change. This thing right here is powerful. And with that being said, I'm going to bring on someone that's personal to me. I've been having the opportunity to work with this gentleman for quite some time, but it was been several years since we had a chance to connect. And one of my good friends, Matt, was able to bring this young brother Jiz into, his name is Jiz Clerk. We call him Jiz, right? Bring him into our family, into our wealth community. And what I can tell you guys is that he aggressively attacked the academy. He aggressively went in there and said, I'm paying for this skill set. I want to learn. He aggressively went in there and said, I can see what this can do for my family going forward. And he has become one of the great traders on our team. And I am excited to be able to share with you Mr. Jiz on the very first time on this platform. I get to hear from him all the time. He's always dropping nuggets. He loves the currency of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, but he's also an incredible trader on gold and oil and US 30. And folks, he's another guy who's been successful in other areas of his life. I want you to get the sense of what we're bringing here, that success leaves clues, right? And here he is today for the first time to share with us on this platform. So what I want you to do, especially if you're part of this IM family, you know what it means the first time to step onto the Legacy Worldwide platform. You understand what is involved, the responsibility there. So I need you guys to blow up the chat for Jiz today. This is his first time on the platform. I need you guys to show him some love as he begins to share with us today some nuggets about how to trade successfully in the market. So Jiz, you there, sir?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right, you got the ability to share your screen. You got it, brother.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. That was a powerful presentation there by Edwin Pinder. Great introduction, as always, by my mentor and co-coach there with Matt Levy. So as he said, I'm going to be going over the basics of forex training. For those of you who don't know me, I am Just Clerk. They call me Just. People call me G at work. I'm, my 9 to 5, I train. So this was kind of a slam dunk for me. I use a lot of those skill sets in the academy, in learning and helping people how to learn. So again, the presentation, it just caught my eye and it just made sense. I won't go into it too much because we have the panel discussion, which I'll go over a lot of why I got into this, but it just made sense to me. So really quickly, we're gonna go over, when you pull up your chart, this is something that the Academy shows you as well. How do you find the different pairs that you want to look at and how you want to trade? And we're gonna just go into how do you start when you pull up a chart? What is the pair that you're looking at? Then we're gonna go into zooming down and identifying, so the support and resistance. So for those of you who are not familiar with those terms, that again is what the Academy teaches you. You're learning a new skill, and like learning many new skills, you have to learn the lingo that goes with it, right? So then we're gonna talk about, once you get down closer and ready to say, I want to make a trade now, what do I have to see to let me know that a trade is about to happen, that I will be profitable if I enter right now, right? So we're looking at entries. And then quickly, I'll close out with a couple of pieces of advice, all right? So really quickly, what you do here, you have a chart here. This is a trading view. A screenshot of trading view is a software that anybody can access, and you can pull up different pairs. And right here, I have Bitcoin here. And in the corner right here, you see it says the D. The D stands for daily. So when you first pull up a chart, you want to get the bird's eye view, right? If you're building a house, you're not going to just start with one of the bedroom closets and work your way out. You need a layout so that you can know what you're doing, right? So when you zoom out, this gives you a layout of what the currency pair you're trading has been doing. If you go to the left, that's back in time, and then you move closer to the right all the way where it ends, and that's telling you what it has been doing. So you need to get the macro picture of what's going on. So then you zoom in from there so that you can see and understand what can possibly happen next, right? So then what you want to do basically from there is you want to box price in. That's where you want to start to what they call mark up your charts and put some lines there so it can help you identify where price is going, where it's been, and where it can potentially go, right? So we were on the daily before. So now you can see here, you're on the 4-hour chart, the 4-hour time frame, right? So these yellow lines here are support and resistance lines, right? So support is basically saying it holds you up, right? So every time you see price comes down, it hits this line and it bounces back up. So we put that line there as a support. Above that, where price has reached its zenith, we call that resistance. So every time price tries to go up, it hits that resistance and comes back down. So that helps you identify what is going on with price and where it could potentially go. Because if it hit resistance up here 1 time, 2 times, right? So the next time it comes to that area, you could expect with a high probability that it's gonna come back down again. Now, nothing is 100%, but you're trying to get an understanding of what could happen. So the blue line over here, we call it a trend line because price went down and then now it started to inch back up. So this is an upward trend line, right? So what we did right there is we boxed price in. Right here in the corner, we have price boxed in there. So we know somewhere within there, we're gonna get a move that we can potentially take advantage of, right? So from there, now you wanna find a trade, right? So you wanna go in, we zoom in again. So you wanna get closer to price. So now we're on a 30-minute time frame. And this is all stuff you're gonna learn in the academy. The educators, the go live, when we're talking about go live, the educators do this in real time or it's recorded, which you can play back and you can watch them doing this. And then you, on whatever time frame you have, you start mimicking what you see them doing. And that's how I learned it. I went on Go Live. There's a couple of educators that I really liked that resonated with me. I like their accents. I like their backstory. You know, I like their jokes. And I like the way they explain their strategy. So I came back and I watched a couple of them a couple times. And then I start to get an understanding of their strategy. And then I said, okay, let me pull up my chart and let me see if I can draw my lines the way that Stevenson Lindor draws his lines. Let me see if I can draw my lines the way that Abel Melendez draws his lines, right? So then you come on here and then what you want to see is what is going to happen next. Well, price can only do three things, right? It can go up, it can go down, or it can continue going sideways. So that's why you have the arrows here. No one can tell the future or you'd be a gazillionaire, right? So we know that what we're waiting for is a breakout. A breakout is a confirmation or a telegraph of what price is going to do. If you see it right now, we have this green line up here and a green line down here. So price is smack in the middle of these two zones. So if you were to enter a trade right now, you're pretty much gambling, right? You can't say with any certainty which way price is going to go and continue to move. So that's why we're waiting for it to come out up here and then continue, or come out down here and then continue. If you were to enter a trade, you would enter a trade right here, not down here, right? So that's the thing, is learning what price is doing and waiting. And that's what many of the educators say, you're paid to wait, right? A lot of people, I don't know, many of you have probably heard of Warren Buffett. And he has a famous saying, is that money is made from the people who have the patience that is taken away from those who don't have the patience. So that's what trading is. The forex market is exchanging money. When you hit buy, somebody else hits sell. So you are patient and waiting until the opportunity comes, and somebody else on the other side is also either buying or selling. Whoever had the patience to wait for the right opportunity is the one who's going to make the profit, right? So quickly here, we'll go to a live. I'm going to stop sharing and go to my trading view really quickly and just show you again in real time how we do this, right? So here we have Bitcoin again. So we're on the 4-hour chart. So again, we have to start. Some educators like to start on the daily chart. Some educators like to start on the weekly chart. So again, it all depends on the pair that you're looking at. If you look at Bitcoin on the weekly chart, you see it doesn't even go all the way to the end of the graph, because Bitcoin is so young a currency that there's not enough data going back. Bitcoin only started in 2013. They started putting it on the forex market. So if you go to other currency pairs, you'll see, like if I go to gold, you see gold keeps going back. And this is the weekly chart. So you have to decide which pair you're on and how far back do you want to start your analysis. So if we stay with Bitcoin, you don't need to be on the weekly chart. You're okay being on the daily chart. And some people feel comfortable on the 4-hour chart. So it takes some experience and some time to get a feel of that, right? So what we're trying to do right here is, again, is just to get a sense of what happened in the recent past and where is price right now. And then from there, we go to the 4-hour chart so that we can get a better view and see where price was going. So you learn how to use this tool. So I went to the 4-hour chart, but it zoomed in too much for me. So I could zoom out even in the 4-hour chart and still get a better picture of what's going on, right? So we had a big push down and then it started to creep back up. And right now it's starting to go back and forth, right? And as you start to know about certain pairs, you know that even these movements that may look small to you are really big movements. But compared to this move right here, from the top of this to the bottom, these are small moves, right? So you can start to mark up your chart and put your support and resistance even at the 4-hour chart. So I like to use yellow lines for my support and resistance, and there's no rules as to what colors they have to be. It's really up to you to decide what colors you want them to be. Just easy for you to identify them. So that way you can get a sense of where's the top of it. And I put this yellow line here because it's closer to price. I don't need it all the way down here because price is not gonna really go down there in a quick move like that unless something drastic happened, right? So really quickly, now we go to the 1-hour chart so that we can get closer to what price is doing. And I'm gonna zoom out again so I can still get that good picture. So now I wanna draw my trend line. And the Academy even has videos to show you how to use this program. So I draw my trend line here because price went up fairly along these lines. So now what I'm looking at is what is gonna happen next, right? So once again, I can zoom down to the 30-minute. So now we see that price went down. So we can draw another trend line along this line here, right? So we boxed price in. That's what I was saying before, right? So what is gonna happen when price gets to the end of this area? It's either gotta go down or it's gotta go up. If it goes up, is this enough of an area for me to see some action, right? So I wanna zoom out, can't zoom out, so I would go to the 1-hour because I wanna see where's the next highest point that can give me a sense of, is there a key level? So for Bitcoin, if you know Bitcoin, everybody's excited about 10,000. 10,000 is the key price point that everybody's getting excited. Bitcoin went above 10,000, Bitcoin went above 10,000. So they've been predicting for the last 2 years that Bitcoin is gonna go to the moon. So it's been disappointing a lot of people for the past 2 years, unless you're a forex trader, because you can make money on these moves. You don't need Bitcoin to go to 10,000 or to the moon to make money. You just need it to move, right? Whether it's moving up or it's moving down. We have some educators and some quote unquote experts who believe that Bitcoin is gonna drop. Get my tool here, who believe that Bitcoin is gonna drop maybe to 8,000 or beyond. We have a resistance all the way over here. Is it gonna come all the way down here to retest this, what we call retest the support, right? So if you have some people here who are buying Bitcoin on the various platforms and they're waiting and waiting for it to shoot to the moon, and then it drops down here, these people are gonna be upset because now the value of what they have, their asset, lost money. But if you understand forex, when you see it drop and you get into that sell, you're actually making money as it drops. So there are people who I spoke to about this opportunity who they told me, oh, I'm not doing that. I bought some Bitcoin and I bought it when it dropped. And I'm thinking, you know, that's owning an asset. That's not trading. What we're talking about is trading, being able to benefit from an upward move or a downward move, which is very powerful. All right, so that's pretty much it. Along with the strategies, you have different indicators, right? We have alphabet list of indicators that helps you put together what you mark up, right? So again, there are more educators as there are personalities in the world, as there are different songs in the world. You have to figure out which strategy, which indicator works for you, makes sense to you. There's indicators that Andre uses that I don't use. There's indicators that Randy Webb uses that I don't use, but we all make money in the market, right? So there is no one right indicator that you have to use. That's all part of understanding and learning the skill set. So let me go back to the main PowerPoint and wrap this up, right? So quick piece of advice, if you decide to come in here, and you'll probably hear it from the person who invited you in, and you'll hear it from the educators when you hop on Go Live, find 1 or 2 pairs. If you're new to trading, no more than 2 pairs, and learn those pairs. Practice whatever strategies you're practicing with those 2 pairs, because if you're learning from multiple pairs, they each have their little nuances. You know, one pair could be a Euro pair, and it moves at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. Another pair could be a USD pair, and it moves around 12 p.m. So if you're playing around with too many pairs, the strategies may not all work perfectly for them. So you need to learn the nuances of those pairs so that the strategies are more effective for you, right? It's like if you want to learn how to fight, and you go to your town, and they have 5 different martial arts schools on one block, and you pick a different school and go to a different school every day. If you have a friend of yours who just goes to one school and he studies at that one school, after a year, who do you think is going to be the more effective fighter, right? I would say the person who stayed in one school, right? So that's the same thing as we try to tell people, don't confuse yourself. Stick with 1 or 2 pairs, and you'll see success from those 1 or 2 pairs, right? The last thing, right, is what Edwin was talking about, is the different strategies. These are strategies that are made up of 6, 7, and 8 figure earners in the academy. These are people who are showing you how to duplicate what they do every day, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to learn this by trial and error. They give you the roadmap. Depending on what your interests are, there's a strategy that meets your interest and your personality. Do you want to be on top of what's going on in the crypto world? We have Swipe Coin. If you want to trade metals, precious metals, we have Gold Cup. If you want to learn from some of the specific traders who are doing it big, we have Vibrata, we have Harmonic Scanner, right? Along with the what's on the academy, within the apps that you get, they teach you the strategy. So it's not just they're giving you the copy and paste of the strategy, but they're teaching you how the strategy works. They're not like, you know, afraid, oh, if I give this guy the strategy, he's gonna take it and become a YouTube sensation, right? This is theirs, and the great thing about it, and we'll talk about the panel as well, is that they're giving you, you know, the golden goose, right? They're not afraid to give you their knowledge. The whole goal of I Am Academy is to help average people become knowledgeable in forex so that they can do whatever they want with that knowledge and the money that they make with it. And last but not least, I said that was last, but have fun, right? We're doing this, you're trying to change your life, you're trying to impact lives. It is serious stuff, but if it's not fun, you're not gonna enjoy it, you're not gonna wanna do it, right? There's some great people I've met here, and I'll go into that in the panel discussion as well, but this is fun. As any free time that I get, I'm in the academy, I'm with my team on Telegram. Even this morning, I was on a chat with a couple of the women in our group, and we were going over earning EMAs, moving averages, just sharing some advice on the different types of moving averages and how to best use them. It's amazing. So that's pretty much it for me. I'll turn it back over to Dre.
Awesome, 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 brother. Listen, I appreciate that. Listen, everybody, please show Jiz some love. Man, that was phenomenal. He broke that down, and I'm telling you, he made that easy. for everybody to understand, he is a phenomenal asset to our organization, to his family, and he's a great dad. And soon I'll actually be living in the city that he lives in. So listen, I am super grateful, bro, for you taking the time to share that with us today and bringing that information, that knowledge, and that skill set to us. All right, next up, we have one more opportunity for you, if you will, to learn a little bit about the skill of trading. Now, let me just say something real quick. You know, Jiz, he brought the heat right there. He talked to us a little bit about Bitcoin. He gave us some information about that. But let me just talk to you real quick about this brother. This brother, Shannon Stewart, was actually on a little earlier today, and we got to hear a little bit of his story as a father, his journey as a father. And we got to have him talk to us about this academy and why he's passionate about it. But let me tell you something, folks. What we have here, what I want you to do is definitely get your pen and paper out for this section right here in particular. Get your pen and paper ready. I don't know what he has to share, but here's what I do know is that whether it's 18 months, 2 years ago, whatever that exact figure is, this young man right here, as a dad, started in this academy, working full-time dad, multiple children. He took the time in the evenings and he started in this academy, not knowing anything about this industry previous to it. Fast forward to the last 4 or 5 months, and he has actually grown so much as a trader, become so successful from the knowledge that he gained from the academy, so successful in helping his personal team and those that are there in Little Rock, Arkansas, make money on a consistent basis. So successful and confident in what he sees. See, that's the difference. He's confident in what he sees, confident enough that he would be willing to share that with other people. And so much so that Randy Webb said, hey, listen, I'm Chairman 25. I'm looking at you, bro. You are actually crushing the market. You are actually doing great things for the people in Little Rock. We need to get you on the bigger platform. We need for you to be able to impact player on the bigger team. I want y'all to hear me now. I want y'all to hear me. And so what happened is Shannon Stewart was moved up to that Vibrata platform, okay? So here he is out of Little Rock, Arkansas, a dad, 3 or 4 children, working full time, but still finding the time to be able to call trade ideas, offer trade ideas on a platform that goes out to all 200,000 customers that we have, right, in the academy, for them to have the opportunity to make money off of what he sees in the market. Let me say that again, to make money off of what he sees in the market, the trade ideas that he's looking at for himself. Folks, this is a big deal. We are super blessed and super thankful and super humbled that he would take the time to come out here and share with us tonight his insight into the market. And so what I want to do is I want to hand this thing over. I want to hand it over to Shannon Stewart. Randy, could you do real quick? Could you make it so that he has the ability to share screen? He's not co-host currently. And I want to hand it over to Shannon Stewart. Shannon, are you here with us?
He's co-host now.
There we go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, everybody?
There we go, brother. You got it, bro. You have taken the wheels, bro. You are in control.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the intro, Andre, man. You're such a wonderful human being, a powerful speaker, a great father, and somebody I'm glad I came into acquaintance with through our community. And actually, thanks to Randy Webb and Wanda Webb, seeing the vision of where this could go and how this has been blessing families all over the world, literally all over the world. But yeah, and Jiz, thank you for what you poured into us, man. That was super duper awesome. It actually was my PowerPoint, so I'm gonna take it off the dome tonight, and I'm gonna just piggyback off of what he showed y'all. I'm gonna share my screen, and that's the good thing about the academy is, I mean, we are, as we say, forever a student. So there's always some type of aspect where we can look for some knowledge, gain some insight to, whether it be from other educators or learning a skill set, or just an indicator or different avenues of trading. There's always some way where you could elevate and improve your game in this trading space. And then, like I say, token, one of our phrases is forever a student. So just to piggyback off of what Jiz was going on earlier, I'm gonna talk a little bit about entries. he basically broke the chart down for us and let us know what to look for on as far as how we begin to analyze the chart. We always begin on the higher time frames, and we see the direction of the market, the way it's going, and then we go further down our analysis to tighten that up. And what that does when we go down into time frames, what it does is it let us know what price is actually doing at that particular time within that bigger scope that we looked at. And we want to get on the lower time frames because we can pinpoint our entries and minimize what we call drawdown or pullback, because the tighter your entry, that's the tighter that you can make what we call a stop loss and minimize your loss and maximize your gains with this. So I'm going to talk a little bit about entries and a little bit of how you'll set your take profit and what we call a stop loss. Your stop loss, like I said, is how we make sure we don't blow accounts. We minimize any losses that we do take within the company, because we do, as we all know, no trade, not all trades are going to be successful. That's just how the market goes. But what we can do as traders is minimize our losses and protect our accounts. And there is a way that we can actually make our risk to reward ratio be at a more of on our side of being a reward. So, like I was saying, I'm going to talk to y'all about entry. And like I said, we start on a higher time frame, and we're getting direction. Like I say, we see that this is an uptrend. Those trend lines that, like just showed you, they show you the overall. The higher the time frame, show you the higher the move, the overall movement of it. But the thing about that is you can break that down and see smaller moves within those bigger moves, and they allow you to maybe take a trade within that higher time frame, because the higher the time frame, most cases is going to be more time that it takes for it to make that move. So just piggybacking off of what Jiz said earlier, I'll draw two trend lines just to box price in, like how he did earlier. And what we would do from that higher time frame, we would go down, down, and down. And what we have come to find and learn within the academy and studying various trading strategies is that we will have different indications of when to enter the market. So as you saw on this 4-hour time frame, let me show you one more time so I can keep y'all to speed. We were going in the uptrend. Now we're having what's called a pullback, but on this higher time frame, because this was a previous low, and I know I'm speaking above most people's head, but this is how we analyze a chart. And this is stuff that I've learned completely within the academy, going from a person that knew nothing to finally being able to analyze charts and break them down and to enter in and become a successful trader. So we see that this is in an uptrend, but we see price has came down and has broken structure. But that is on a higher time frame. Do you see how much price has came down? We call this pips. It's a unit of measure between price points. For a trader, 100 pips is a lot of pips. So we don't want to enter off of a higher time frame if you want a very, very, very tight entry. What we do is we get the movement, we get the motion, we see signs that price is going to turn around. So on this 4-hour time frame, we saw a doji structured candle looking right here, similar to a doji. So what we do is at that point, we mark off on our charts what we're looking at with some sort of symbols to let us know what we're looking at in charts. Because as you go down on the time frames, your chart is going to look a little different because you're putting a magnifying glass on what's going on. So when we're looking for our entries, we go down to at least the 15-minute time frame. And since we put that mark there, we know exactly where to go on our chart. So we know we're looking in this area. This is where that doji candle happened. So we actually can go down in time frame one more time for the tightest possible entry. It's going to be a little bit different how we analyze this because this has already happened in time. But for current price action, we will still do the same thing. And I'm going to try to move the chart over as much as possible to let you know what we actually see when we're analyzing the chart. So what we do, what we're seeing here, just pretend that this was our peak. This is all that we saw. As a trader, we would have seen that this is what we call buyer's exhaustion, which means that the buyers in the market are starting to pull out and the sellers are starting to take control of the market. So when you got a strong move to the upside, and then you're starting to, your candles are getting a little bit shorter. Just like in here, this movement right here, as you see the candles are getting shorter and shorter, along with wicks. Both of those are indications that buyers are running out of steam. So when you get this, that's when you start, your radar should go off. You start looking. That doesn't mean to enter. You always want to look and analyze and see what's going on in the market. So we have what's called candlestick pattern formations. And those are things that let us know what price may be getting ready to do. Okay, so as we see right here, that this last bullish candle, and that bullish candle is just means is going in an up direction. Our up direction candles, for me, I'll make them black. You can make them any color you want. This last bullish candle, it had exhaustion, and we see that we're starting to get a downward movement, which what we call bearish candles. But we see that this bearish movement, this bearish structure, this whole move of 3 consecutive candles is greater than this last bullish candle. So we call it an engulfing pattern. It's not an engulfing candle, but we call it a pattern. It's not as strong as an engulfing candle by itself, but an engulfing pattern still is powerful. It gives you an indication that you're going to get a price reversal. So that puts the radars up for us as traders. And what we would do typically would be wait for a retest. But in this instance, with it being so tight up, when we got that engulfing pattern, and let me show y'all how tight this is. Y'all, this is only 6 pips. So us as traders, we would evaluate the fact that that's just 6 pips, and the highest point previous to that, we could put a tight stop loss, and you could enter. Some traders call that a sniper entry, and they would take that trade. We have other traders that like to wait for a retest. It would kind of take a little while for this retest. The sniper trader would have caught this movement to the downside, but a person that waits for the retest and has patience, and that's one thing that will get you far in trading, is patience. One thing about it is 90% of the time, if you look it up, it's a very high percentage of the time when you have an engulfing pattern formation, you are going to get a retest all the way back up to that formation, to the body, at least to the body area of that candle that got engulfed. So what I would have did, and what I do, especially when I'm trading for the team and not just for myself, is I'll wait on that patience. So I'll box in that engulfed candle and I'll wait, because I'm looking out for, like Andre said, thousands and thousands of people. So as time goes by, we saw, that sniper trader would have made his money, but like I say, the high percentage of price does, it goes back and retests that engulfed area. So we got our retest back up to that area. This is the body of that candle. Sometimes it goes a little bit higher. Sometimes it doesn't make it all the way, but you do know this is the general area that you're going to be looking for. So we got our retest of that area, and look what happened. We got a single engulfed candle formation, which is way more powerful than that engulfing candle pattern. So you could actually have entered on this, or most times you get a retest when you get a price reversal, and you got your retest, and you would enter for this move on the way down, and you would have been in a successful trade. This is when I would have called that trade for the team, and we would have been in for a minimum of 45 pips, and we would have been, our stop loss would have only been, I would have placed my stop loss right above this wick area right here, because that was the complete retest. We didn't need any other indications because we're entering off a retest of a zone. So I would have only risked about 10 pips just to be on the safe side. So a risk to reward minimum of 40 pips to 10 pips. But what we do, and that would have been more of scalping / intraday trade type of trade setup. Those are people that want pure quick satisfaction, instant gratification. But me, I'm more of a patient trader. So what I do is I would have got my entry and my stop loss off of the 5-minute chart, but I would have went to the 4-hour chart to take profit. And that would have at least minimum. Let me start with the 1 hour for them to find where we at. Okay. On the 1 hour chart, that move is a little bit more significant. We would have entered in this area right here and caught this move for 184 pips. That is the difference in the risk to reward when you trade using a stop loss off the lower time frames and doing your take profit off of the higher time frame. Your risk to reward is phenomenal, and this is why you see a lot of traders having a lot of success, especially early on, because once you go so far into profit, we all have learned as traders through the academy and all the master educators, you put you a stop loss to protect your profits as you start to go down, and you have a risk-free trade. So once we got 10 to 20 pips in profit in this area, we would have put a stop loss in profit, secured our trade, and we could have went on our day at work. We could have went on our day playing and interacting with our family, and we could have, or we could have looked for other trade setups to make more money. So that is actually piggybacking off of Giz, because he did a phenomenal job on market structure. I just wanted to touch on how we actually enter the trade, how we secure the bag with a stop loss, and how we maximize our profits with entering off the lower time frame versus taking your profit off of the higher time frame. And that will greatly affect your success in the market and how you capitalize on your trading. And that is my time, y'all. I don't want to hog the show because I can go on and on and on and on.
Did y'all catch that? Woo, master trader in the house. So for those of y'all who are brand new, I know that some of the terminology, if you're here as a guest, it might be a little above, but here's the thing. All of us, when we first saw a presentation, when we first saw information on the academy, all of us, the terminology was above. There's very few of us who came to this academy with all of that information, that knowledge, or had done some back study on forex or whatever it is. And so what that is proving to you is that the academy works. See, because we all came with no knowledge about the forex market. We all came understanding that terminology was difficult. And then we all are growing as traders, and some of us are growing to become exceptional traders like Shannon. So what he just outlined to you was a 1-to-4 ratio. That means that you're risking 10 to gain 40, which means that you don't even have to win 50% of the time in order for you to still be profitable. Okay. And then when he outlined to you the bigger time frame, when you're talking about a one, risking 10 pips for a potential 180, that is an incredible risk to reward ratio. That is something that's going to make you profitable in this market and in this industry. So, bro, listen, I appreciate you taking the time to outline that for us. Okay, listen, what we're about to do right now is bring up my personal mentor, Mr. Randy Webb. And folks, you know, I'm from LA, he's from LA, right? I'm from Inglewood, he's from Compton. You know, we're roughly the same age. We grew up in the same time frame, the same era in Los Angeles. We came from the same streets, essentially, right? And so, you know, this guy has a special place in my heart. I call him Mr. Black Excellence, you know, because, you know, as a matter of fact, growing up, one of the things is if you grew up in LA at that time frame, there was the Raiders, and all over town, there was these signs in black and silver that said commitment to excellence. And that's really what I think that this gentleman right here embodies. You know, he was able to raise himself and come from the streets of Compton, get into the military, do something that's very difficult to do. He became an Air Force pilot. He became the 1% of the 1%, right? Not only did he become an Air Force pilot, which is 1% of the Air Force, but he was an African-American Air Force pilot, which is 1% of the 1%. And so you're looking at someone who's already exceptional, but he's not just exceptional in the Air Force. See, what I have found as I've gotten a chance to get to know him better over the past year and a half is that he's also exceptional as a dad. He's an exceptional husband. You know, he loves his family. He's exceptional in business. And so what I want you to understand, he's exceptional at giving. Guys, the last 3 months, we all know what's been going on in the world. In the last 3 months, this gentleman has been offering free bands on a regular basis, telling people how they can get in, talking to people about real estate, contract law, all kinds of stuff that he's just been giving away from free because he cares about the empowerment of people. He cares about the empowerment of families. And so he has reached the level of chairman 25 in our business. For those of you who are new, that doesn't mean anything to you, but let me just tell you that is a significant rank. That means that him and his wife are bringing in $25,000 a month or more in residual income from the company. Residual, ongoing, willable, transferable income. He has created a business that has become an income-based asset for his family. And that's not the only asset that he has. And so I'm excited for him to talk to you about the second component. We're talking here about financial education, financial literacy. One part is the markets. The second part of financial literacy is building the infrastructure of entrepreneurship. And what we have for you guys right now is a world-class entrepreneur, Mr. Randy Webb. Are you with us, sir?
I'm here, my brother, man. I'm so proud of this whole thing happening. All my successful men, my father's on here. Happy Father's Day. But thank you so much, Andre. It's been an absolute pleasure to just watch this, man, to know that we've been in this journey now 2.5 years together and watching the growth of our community. So welcome, everybody. For those that don't know me, my name is Randy Webb. And me and my wife, we have been full-time entrepreneurs now for going on 8 years. We've been in the entrepreneur space maybe about 14 years or so, and I've been on the grind for a very long time. Born and raised in Compton, California. I come from humble beginnings. Yes, straight out of Compton. I can tell you all the stories. And here's what I'm most proud of. You know, when we talk about climbing out of your situation, I always say, when you get into a situation, how do you get out? You get out the same way. And I'll tell you, I had a journey from, you know, can't disclose everything on here, but I'll tell you from, you know, my father, you know, creating that relationship, my mom, like, we're going to talk about one of the biggest issues in households, okay? I've had to learn a lot of different things from growing up in a single family home. And guess what, man? If you grow up in a single family home, that means you may not have had a father example or a successful relationship to watch. So what you have to do, you have to read about it. So I become an avid reader. Now, here's the funny part. I became an avid reader. Listen, I got a 1.0 GPA in college. I was making good school. You know, I was able to get through high school and make good grades in high school, even coming from that area. Okay. And I did all the things you could think of in that area. Okay. But I still made good grades. My mom, she didn't play no games. But when I got to college, it was on me. Right. And I realized that I couldn't play around anymore. I got a 1.0 GPA and there's some decisions that I had to make. I became a young teenage dad at the age of 18 years old. Okay. I remember getting evicted from my apartment. You know, I remember working two jobs just like my mom did. I was a security guard for Carson Mall. For my folks who are from California, so you'll know where I come from. Carson Mall, security guard. I was security guard at Centinela Hospital. I remember working 16 hours a day to take care of my family. I was a young dad, but I'll tell you, I tried to be responsible. And so coming from one 8-hour shift, midnights, to rolling to another 8-hour shift where I walked the mall and still was broke, still was living paycheck to paycheck, still had issues. It didn't matter how much money came in my hands or in my bank account, I still wasn't doing the right things with it. And here's what I attribute it to. I didn't have a money mentor. And I'm fortunate enough that in 2007, now in 2007, folks, I was already a lieutenant in the Air Force. When I first joined the Air Force in 1999, I went in not knowing what was going to happen. When I joined, back then, they don't do it now, they were giving out bonuses. And I got a $6,000 bonus to join the United States Air Force. And I said, just give me the job, the biggest bonus. So it was $6,000. I became a radar technician where I was basically a sim driver, simulating being a pilot for young lieutenants and captains trying to control airplanes. That was my first job. And what I got to see, you know, I'll tell you the first success story I seen that related to me. And this is what's powerful. This is, man, I'm gonna talk about our leadership in the home, and then also expands outside the home. But we first must get it right in the home. And so for me, at that time, as a young airman with 10 other airmen working, we were pretending to be pilots, okay? I started having dreams like, man, what would it be like to be a pilot? Now, hear me out. My dad wasn't a pilot. Nobody in my family was a pilot. Nobody was really. And my uncle, my only uncle, rest in peace, he served in the Vietnam War, but that was the only thing that I ever had. I went to the military because I was under distress. I needed money. And I thank God today because it put me into a place where I did get mentorship. I gained a lot of leadership. I gained a lot of responsibility. But my story, I believe, started in the Air Force when I first seen the first black pilot wearing a flight suit. And I remember the day that I seen a black pilot, I'm like, man, it gave me hope. It's like, man, I could be a pilot. Now, when we talk about, when Andre said it's 1% and 1%, that's just not cliche, okay? 1% of the United States Air Force are pilots. Of that, African Americans, only 1%. We all basically know each other. That's real. And so I remember wanting to become a pilot, and as soon as I voiced it to my friends, my circle of people, they laughed. I want you to hear this closely. You have people that are in your circle right now, okay? You know, right now we're in a mentor session with our team. If you're not in our organization right now and you decided to come in our organization, mentorship is a big deal, okay? This book right here, The Laws of Success, they're laws, okay? Sometimes we're in our situation because we're breaking the laws, not real human-made laws. I'm talking about natural laws. And one of those laws is birds of a feather that flock together, okay? It's the same. Our moms and dads used to say this. My mom say keep hanging around with those boys, you're gonna get in trouble just like them, okay? So in the Air Force, sometimes it seems like it's not a big deal. Maybe your circle, you're not getting in trouble, but your circle only makes a certain amount of money and they're comfortable there, okay? I was hanging around with the other airmen that were making less than $20,000 a year, and they were comfortable there. Hey, I'm gonna elevate at some point. And I remember when I seen that black pilot, my vision got big. And remember, I got a 1.0 GPA in college? Well, it gave me something to go thrive for when I seen that. And I realized there was more. And so I started going to school, and I finished my degree in 3.5 years in the United States Air Force. Didn't fail not one class. Graduated with 3.9 GPA in college. And then the Air Force picked me up to be a pilot. And I'll tell you, that is where my story began. See, I was able to, deploy to Afghanistan and Iraq, spend 4 to 8 months out of the year away, and really gain a lot of leadership. Now, I got to meet the woman of my dreams too in pilot training. Okay, I'm really compressing my story here, but I got to meet the woman of my dreams in pilot training. Okay, and of course today we have 5 kids total. My oldest daughter is 21 years old, turning 22 today, or next month, or in August. I'm sorry. And then my youngest boy, Elijah, he's 5 years old. Okay, but 5 kids, 3 daughters, 2 sons. And I'm going to talk about this for my fathers because I want you to feel this as we go on to this business session, because we are fighting for our legacy. We're fighting for the next generation. I want you to think about a relay race. How do you want to leave your sons and daughters? If you're running a relay race, because we are, right? You're running, I'm running, we all running. And when we get ready to pass that baton, how are we passing that baton to our kids? See, what I've seen in the past is typically, and our parents did the best that they can do. But when they pass the baton to us, they're kind of behind when they should have been passing that baton in the baton zone. So we're starting behind the line. Now listen, I'm gonna talk to some of my brothers on here. Some of us, it's not even our fault, but we got to take responsibility for it. We're 400 years behind, not because of us. We got to catch up, and we got to be aggressive about it. And this is what my passion and my purpose is. It's economics. And so if you hear me today, I want to teach you how to get out of debt, and then I want to teach you how to get a net worth. See, there culturally, okay, my culture, we have a negative net worth. But if I can change it, each person that I teach, I will change their net worth, which I will change their generation. So for me, becoming a pilot, folks, that was a big deal. I thought that was going to be the pinnacle of my life. And so here I am. I'm a pilot. I'm a captain in the United States Air Force. I'm now going through instructor pilot training, where I'm going to teach the next gentlemen and women how to become fighter pilots or tactical airlift pilots in a T-6 aircraft. And then I get sick in 2012. Now, in between this time, 2012, I got sick. In 2007, I was introduced to financial concepts. Okay, I was introduced how to invest in real estate. I was introduced to the power of gold and silver. I was introduced to some things, and I had to just figure it out. I was introduced to this industry, but I was still in the Air Force. Okay, so I started investing in real estate with my wife. We bought homes here and there, and then in 2013, there was a decision. I got diagnosed with lupus, and the Air Force said, "Hey, you won't be able to be a pilot. If you want to stay in, you can, but if you want to retire, you can." I said, "If I can't be a pilot, I don't want to be in." And so they retired me in 2013. And I was so fortunate that at the beginning of 2013, I was open-minded. This industry right here was introduced to me and my wife. This industry right here changed our life. Today, the same kid born and raised in Compton, California, who started behind the line, who got the baton late, my family is debt-free. That means any call that come in, I'm not scared to pick up a call. I don't owe no one. I don't owe the creditor. I don't owe for my car. I got a nice luxury car. Don't owe for it. It's paid off. Okay, today I tell my wife, I wish I didn't buy the car. So I'm going to speak something to you that may help you even advance farther than I have advanced. And I'm not done. But everything in our household is paid off. And then we talk about the income I'm making residually out of this company. It comes in my house. And the only thing I have to think about is how I direct this money to make more money. You know, we're going to invest in silver. So I invest in silver heavily today. I invest in gold heavily today. And you're going to ask why. I'm going to teach you why I invest in those things. Okay. And if you can invest in them right now, I'm going to show you how you can invest in them, how to increase your money flow. Okay. Why do we invest in gold and silver? Because the way that this America is printing money at a rapid rate, we are the most indebted nation in the world. If you don't believe me, go look it up. Who has the most debt? The United States. Okay. Credit wasn't started until 1950 for us. When I say credit, the concept of selling credit came 1950. So we're only 70 years of shifting credit to people. It's not a good thing. And because most people have bid off on credit, you are now enslaved to the dollar. You're enslaved to your creditor. You're enslaved to your job. Some people are working jobs they do not like, but they keep them because what? You got to pay the house payment. You got to pay the credit card. You got to pay everything that you're indebted to. Wonder if you didn't have to pay any of those things. You're like, all I need to do is be able to eat, cover a little bit of my expenses. That's it. But we can't, because the world has you indebted, just like America is indebted. And when I figured that out, it's been my only goal to become unenslaved. Now, listen, folks, there's a book by Dave Ramsey for my folks. Matter of fact, before I start this, let's ask the questions. And I know there are women on here as well, too, so you can answer as well. My fathers and women on here. And even if you're not a father, how many of you, drop a 1-1 in the chat if you have credit cards? And nothing wrong with having credit cards. We're just going to talk about it a little bit. Drop a 1-1 in the chat if you have a credit card, right? Just about everybody has a credit card, at least one, okay? My next question, drop a 222 in the chat if you have a car and you owe some type of finance company. Okay, most people, right? It's everybody. I know the percentage, so at least 80% of people on here are going to have those things. Okay, if you went to school, okay, and you had to get a loan to go to school, not grants, loans, drop a 333 in the chat. Okay, those are the top 3 things that keep Americans indebted. Okay, those 3. And if I can get you to shift and get rid of those ASAP, can you imagine all the money that's coming into your house right now? I don't care if you only make, listen, some people think they can't get rich making $2,000 a month. Do you realize you can get rich making $2,000 a month? The reason you can't get rich making $2,000 a month, because most of the time, whether you're in America or in the Bahamas or in Canada, most of the time the banking system is taking it from you because you have stretched yourself and you got credit cards and loans and all this stuff. So when you look at the compound interest of those things, that's the trick. And when I figured that out, the goal is to get out of it. You see, even, I don't know what your spiritual background is, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, whether you're Catholic, okay? I know, in the Bible it says that it is good to be the what? The lender and not the borrower. Why does it say that's wisdom? Right? Is that just sound advice? Sound advice. That's simple stuff right there. So I'm going to talk about all the issues, and then I'm going to provide you with a quick solution. Whether you decide to take the solution or not, it's up to you. All I knew is I took the solution about 7.5 years ago. You see, when we joined this industry, we were excited because we've seen people that look like us, sound like us, that were making a lot of money. We're making the most money in our life right now, and I'm not even done, okay? We're going to talk about economics. What do you want? See, our last mentorship call, we talk about a definite aim. And listen, I want every father on here, because the first leader you are is a leadership in your house. Some people may complain like, this is not happening, this is not happening. I want you fathers, you are the head and not the tail. Just like God is dominion over our life, we are the dominions over our home, and he expects us to be that way. We expect us to live abundantly. But if we are restricted and enslaved, how can we possibly be in the image of God. So today, my goal is to free you and break the chains of poverty. And to do that, we must first get you unbinded from other things that you are called to have. Credit is one of them. You're not called to be enslaved to something. You're called to be a man of your house. Meaning you are not subservient to anyone but God. And to do that, you got to be free. And understand, some people think they're free, but they're not. They're enslaved to debt. So how do you get out of debt? See, today I'm going to challenge your beliefs. What I'm going to show you, you're going to say, oh, this is one of those things. What are we talking about here? So I used to hear people when I first joined this industry, oh, it's one of those things. And this industry got me debt free. This industry put me around powerful mentors. This industry put me around strong Black men who are making millions of dollars a year. Guess what? When you see someone who looks like you, sounds like you, that is doing something major, what does that give you? It shouldn't envy you. It shouldn't give you jealousy. It should say, I have hope. I can do what that man did too, because I'm a man just like he's a man. So I hope when you hear me and when you listen to me, that you say, me too. I'm like Randy Webb, or I'm better than Randy Webb, whatever the case may be. That's what I want you to have once we go into this session. So here are the numbers that you can write down. In America right now, and this is, just understand, anytime we do statistics, I want you to know it's expanded out to the world. In America right now, 80% of people are in debt, 137,000 on average. Of that, 76% of people have little or less than $1,000 sitting in their bank account. Why? Because they have to continually pay their bills and their debt every single month. So who's winning in this process? The bankers. Okay, I want you all to start reading. I want you to get a book called The Creature Out of Jekyll Island. They're going to talk about the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, the greatest trick pulled on America. It's not pulled on America. The greatest trick pull for you to think we're power. Some of us think that power is in the presidency. Power is in the banking system. Okay, and when you get smart about that, you have no choice but to win. So here's a book I want you guys to get until I find another book. The Money Answer book. Okay, this is going to give you basic information about getting out of debt. It talks about debt is stupid. Credit is not good. Now, I will talk to you when credit is good is when you're buying a home and you're renting it out, creating residual income. Okay. Now, I talk about investing in gold and silver. This is an advanced conversation. Some of you are like, Rand, you talking about investing in gold and silver? I'm trying to just pay the bills. I know. I get it. But I want you still to know, because once you get to the level, I want you to put 10% of your income away in gold and silver. Why? Because the more that we print money in America, right now, America's in debt by $26 trillion. Okay. 4 years ago, they were in debt by 19 trillion. 4 years before that, they were in debt by 15 trillion. Okay. Before that, they were in debt by 10 trillion. Do you realize that America doesn't pay off debt? Just like regular Americans don't pay off debt. They just manage it until the day that they die. Well, the world is going to outlive you. So the last thing I want to do is die with debt. And so we must pay off ours and not fall for the stunt that America is giving you, or this system is giving you. Okay. So when I say that money is managed, now that you have that part, when debt keeps going up, it affects your buying power. That means goods and services keep on increasing in price. That means real estate is going to increase in price. That means gold and silver is going to what? Increase in price. That means the stock market, because the Federal Reserve is investing in it, is going to increase in price no matter what. You see, gold in 1970 was $35 an ounce. Today is $1,700. Now, that's not an investment, folks. That's called a hedge. That's a protection. You don't go all in with gold. You don't go all in with silver. That's only if America decides to either go back to the gold standard or they default. And then, why do I know this? Because if you write this down, usdebtclock.org, the government gives you the numbers. Why are they tracking the numbers? Trust me, they don't track anything they don't need to use. So they're tracking the cost of gold right now. And the cost of gold right now, real gold, not the manipulated ETF stuff, is based on US dollars, is $30,000 an ounce. So if America had to default and we no longer became the world reserve, and we said we're now back on the gold standard, they would either have to burn the money and take money from you, or going back on the gold standard, it would be like whoever has gold has $30,000 for 1 ounce of gold. They're tracking that right now. So that's why a lot of people, they're waiting, because America's in trouble. They're waiting for the default. Because if you have several ounces of gold, think about if our grandparents bought ounces of gold for $35 and the economy's doing what it's doing now. Most of us on this call, you probably wouldn't even be on this call. You be somewhere, somewhere in the place you want to be on your own island. So now that we got that conversation, you're saying, Randy, I want to be a part of that. Now I got to talk about the basic information. How do we get you there? I got to get you to get a cash cow. You want to own real estate? Me and my wife, we've had the privilege now to have 12 properties, and we cash in those properties between 2013 and now. Okay, made big money doing it. We can have a real estate conversation for free. I won't charge you $10,000 like all these other people are trying to do. Why? Because I'm trying to advance people. That's why. What's going to make me feel good is watching you elevate out of the bottom. That's what makes me feel good of what we're doing right now. Free bands. So the reason I'm telling you all this, because it's bigger than forex. It's bigger than this company right here. It's what we have to do. Okay, not what, this is not even an option for most of us. Okay, some of us don't even have the privilege to be average right now because we got to pass the baton the right way. I don't have the opportunity to be average right now because I got sons and daughters that are dependent on me. And the way I pass the baton will be determine how my household name, the Webbs, will be carried on in the future. And you may not even see the progress because of all the stuff you're doing right now. But wouldn't it be worth it to be able to look down on your kids and say, man, I put them in a good position. They turn my little $100,000 net worth, or maybe you might have $1 million net worth before you leave this earth. They turn my $1 million net worth into 100 million, into a billion. The reason I say 1 million, because 1 million will be the hardest you will ever, going for $1 million will be the hardest thing you ever do. After that, money will just come in. Okay. So let me show you how to make that type of money. To make that type of money, I want you to expand your mind. You got to open your mind. Will it be easy? No. We're talking about economics. Okay. We're talking about creating your own economy. How do you do that? You have to get out of the economy you're in right now. Debt-free, residual income. You work for no one. You're fully free. That's where I stand right now. I answer to no man but God and my family because of what you're about to see right now. And we'll lead you. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to tell you it's not going to be easy, folks. No, it ain't. But I promise you this, it'll be worth it. I'm 40 years old today, folks. They say an average person, they get debt-free by 45. Okay. And sometimes it's not, it's more than that. So my goal for you, get you debt-free. And then when we get debt-free, man, we can take over. You start investing in real estate. You start increasing in community. You start investing in gold and silver, right? You're on your track for getting rich. And so I seen this industry 7.5 years ago, folks. And there are 3 principles I already understood. The number one, average millionaire today has 7 ways they get paid. 7 streams of income, not a job. See, a job stands for just over broke. The boss will never pay you what you're worth. Why? Because they got to get a profit on you. They're getting a profit off your labor. Let's talk real talk. It was Juneteenth yesterday. Hey, you know what Juneteenth is? That's when African Americans in this company really became free. That's when they were released to involuntary servitude, and it became voluntary servitude because some of those same slaves had to still be on the plantation because they were released with nothing. Okay, so they had to get paid. So now we're in a state where we have voluntary servitude, meaning you have to work for someone in exchange for money. That's all this change, folks. Okay, so I have to get you to create your own economy. And to do that, in the Bible, it talks about Ecclesiastes 11:1-3. It says, it is good to go into foreign trade because you never know the bad things this world may be. Cast away 7 streams. Why 7 streams? Because if one dries up, you still got 6. If 2 dry up, you still got 5, and you still keep on trucking. A lot of us, we are only trucking with 1, and that's not really a stream. It's our job. And I call that, we did our mentorship call on definite aim. You know, Napoleon Hill, years of research about people. And he said of 16,000 people that he researched, 16,000, only 5% were actually successful. Only 5% were actually doing the things that they said they wanted to do, because that's what success means. And then he said 5% of them, they had a definite aim, meaning they knew exactly what they were going to do. They knew exactly how they were going to do it. They knew exactly the amount of money they were going to create and how and when they were going to get it. Here's my question. Do you know exactly what you're going to do? I didn't. Let me be honest with you. Okay. I didn't have a definite aim when I was 18 years old. I didn't have a definite aim when I was 19. I was swaying with the wind. I remember my friends, hey man, bro, they got these pipe fitters. Man, we go to that interview, they're gonna be paying you $15 an hour. And I'd be like, boom. Oh man, a Jiffy Lube, they paying this. And I would shift to shift to shift. I didn't have a definite aim in life. I just wanted to make money. You will be a failure if you do that. That's just real talk. It is not till I went into the Air Force and I said I wanted to become a pilot that I experienced what it felt like to have a definite aim on something and get it. Today, men, fathers, brothers, strong men, I want you to put a definite aim on what you want and don't listen to what the world say you worth. If your definite aim is I want to make 2 million and here's how I'm going to make it because I'm going to start these many restaurants or I'm going to get involved in this business here or I'm going to help these many people, then that's your definite aim. 7 strings. That's what you need. 2, very clear. If you don't figure out a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until the day that you die. Fact. Most people are on a 40-40-40 plan. You work 40 hours a week or more, 40 years of your life, only to retire with 40% of the income you can live off in the first place. And most of the time, depending on who you are, okay, we know that a lot of our people aren't getting fair shots. You're not making the money that you make. You know, my daughter came home. My daughter's going through it. I got to teach. I don't just make it easy for my kids either. I got to grow her up too. I got to make her a strong woman as well too. And she told me, she said, Dad, I was at my job and I just realized they hired this girl on and she's making more than me. You know, it was $1 more. I said, really? Okay. I understand it's there. Young, my daughter's 20, 21, going 22, young 18-year-old. Okay. And the girl got paid $1 more than her. They said she had experience. She just came out of high school. Hey, that's what it is. We got to create our own economy. Okay. Listen to me closely. No one's going to retire you. They're not responsible to retire you. No one's going to give you anything. You got to go out and take it. And this is what I found in this industry. This industry has created a lot of self-made millionaires and success stories. I'm one of them. I learned how to make money in my sleep. Not only in this industry, in real estate, right? I invented a product as well too. You want to learn how to invent a product? I can show you how to do that. All of it. What is your money friends? Who are your money friends? What is your circle? Are you hanging around other successful fathers, other successful men? You see, one thing growing up, we are taught to be very strong and we don't really share our things with other men, or we don't have a mastermind. Okay, this is a mastermind happening right now. Can you imagine the power? Because we call it allied effort. Okay, organized effort. If we were to talk like this all the time with one another, okay, console one another. There's sometimes I'll be weak in a place and you might be strong. You might know how to do this. And if we come together with that stuff, do you understand the power? That's what we're talking about right now. And a lot of us, we're powerful. I got weaknesses too. You got weaknesses in some areas too. But together we're strong. We make up one. And so I believe that this industry provides that. As a matter of fact, this industry, it definitely, in my opinion, I've seen a lot of success come from this industry. Young men in their 20s are making millions in our company. Young women in their 20s are making millions in our company. Now, understand, I got to put the disclaimer: past results don't equal future results. You're not guaranteed to make that money. You got to go put in work. You got to make sales. Okay, when it comes to this portion of the business. Now, the making money while you're trading, listen, we're killing the game of trading. We love it. As a matter of fact, because of some of the information I learned from this company, I was able to go into the stock market, invest in American Airlines, double my money that I had just made from some real estate. And so not only did I make a lot of money in my real estate deal, I made money because I understood the chart and I put it inside the account. And then as soon as that joker went up, and then I seen a note that they're going to be filing bankruptcy, I pulled that joker out. I made multiple 5 figures in 2 days. Okay, past results don't equal future results. But, we invest in American Airlines, we did that. And so understand that's the circle that you're buying into. So the third thing, this industry outside of real estate has produced a lot of self-made millionaires, folks. Truth. So what am I showing you right now? This industry, network marketing. I'm going to say it because I want you to just rub it off. The world's going to tell you what don't work. It's a pyramid. It's this. It's not. It's networking. It's other people telling you how to become wealthy and passing you the game. This is what's going to fast forward you 400 years, like we're talking about. It is the thing that works. Why? Because I'm watching my people win. And so why this company? Why I am? I've never seen a company like this that could teach a skill that you can do, that you don't have to sell. Let's say you don't want to do this part I'm talking about. I want you to know that this part I'm going to share with you is optional. You don't have to do it, but it wouldn't be an option for me. I want my sons to benefit. I want my daughters to benefit. So it wouldn't be an option for me, but it's optional, meaning you don't have to do it whatsoever. All right. You can just learn how to trade. My boy Shannon doing both, but Shannon is a master trader. Okay. I just seen Jizz on here. Holy, he's a master. I'm looking at him break down the charts. I'm like, all the talent in our company just from going through I Am Academy. That's powerful. These brothers went down here and broke down how you can make thousands, if not millions, inside the market based off looking at some trends. They learned it from I Am Academy. And so this second part, I'm gonna teach you how to become a business partner. Okay. Now I've done the research. If you ever wanted to own a McDonald's, how many of you drop a 7-7 in the chat if you had the opportunity to own a McDonald's, like you had everything in place, and they said you could own a McDonald's. Drop a 777 in the chat if you would own a McDonald's. Everybody like, I don't like McDonald's. Let's see, no, 0-7. No one, okay, no one likes McDonald's. Well, let's talk about this. McDonald's, okay, most people look at them as they're a multi-billion-dollar franchise, okay? And the owner of McDonald's is $3.2 trillion. I mean, $2 billion, $3.2 million to basically have net worth to be able to be considered for McDonald's, okay? But when everything's said and done, paying out employees and all that, it costs you, or you're going to make in profit in the year, $200,000 in residual income profit. Folks, I'm about to show you a comp plan that you don't have to have $3.2 million net worth. As a matter of fact, you don't got to have nothing in your account. The only thing you got to have in your account is work ethic. And if you got that, you're good, okay? And so one of the top level in our comp plan now, serious, I know, don't run away, $750,000 a month, okay? And so let's break into it. How do you start with this part? Okay, when you become a trader, what we suggest you do, when you show people you can waive your fees with 2 customers. Done. Fees are waived, you don't pay anything. After that, if you refer total of 3 customers total, okay, you can now become a business partner. You upgrade to our IBO system for only $15. When that happens, you get paid $25 for every customer that comes in personally from you. If they do the elite membership, which guess what, people are doing it because of HFX and because of our forex platform, I do both of them. So I'm an elite member. That's $50 per customer that you bring in. That's not where it starts. Here's the fun part. It's called residual income. When you put in 3 customers, you start making $150 every single month. Remember I talked about, wonder if gold right now is sitting at $1,700. That means a gram of gold would put you at about $130, $150. Imagine if you had an extra $150 that you were still working, but you were buying a gram of gold a month because you got extra investment money, or you're putting that inside the market. Well, here's even better. Just grow the business even more. 3 customers turn into 12. Now when I say 12 customers, that's a guaranteed $600 a month. I say it like that because some of you may have done this business model before. And so you have in your head like, oh, that's got to be up to income. So when I get there, I got to do some extra stuff. No, 12 customers, $600 a month. You can change the game with $600 a month. You can get a debt with $600 a month. You can invest more in $600 a month. You can invest in your favorite stock with $600 a month. You can invest in gold and silver. You can get about 5 ounces of silver for every $100. So we're talking about 30 ounces of silver, changing the game for the future. Or you can just keep on compounding it up. $1,000 a month is 30 customers. And here's where it gets better. We go to the rest of our comp plan. Here we are. Platinum 2,000. That means you make $2,000 a month. The majority of people can become free with $2,000 a month. See, the average household today makes about less than 24,000. Combined household is 53,000. Okay, we have people that are hitting these levels in a couple months being in our business. Some people will hit it within the first 4 weeks, depending on how hard you work. Some people may take a year to hit it. It's all up to you. Remember, you're trading too, right? Platinum 5,000 means you make $5,000 a month. This is when you start getting a little attitude, right? When you go into work, right? You're making $5,000 a month. The boss say the wrong thing, you're out. This is $60,000 a year at this level. We have several Platinum 5,000 on our team that have been able to do this thing at a full-time level. Moms, fathers, single fathers, P5,000 and above. Took me and my wife 4 weeks to hit that level. Chairman 10 took us 60 days to hit that level, $2,500 weekly, all right? That's $10,000 minimum per month. The average Chairman 10 makes about $13,000. And then Chairman 25, it took us 16 months to hit that level. That's $25,000 a month. Our average is about $27,000 per month with just that account. And we talk about multiple, and then there's more. Okay, so $25,000 a month, folks. This puts you in the top 2% of earners in the United States. Okay, a big deal. Me and my wife, we were just talking. Now we just have checks coming out of all type of places from all the other things that we did. We have no debt. It's like money is just attracted to us today. I always wondered, like, I wish that during the times I was struggling, that this type of money was just coming in. Right, we having $2,000 checks coming from here, not from this company, just different things coming in for us, because it seems like we're money magnets now. I believe that once you get into a happy space where you become an attraction, things are just going to fall in place. But right now, a lot of people are struggling. They can't be in that happy space. Therefore, they can't have that magnet of attraction. And so this is what I know in this community, that we can give you that attraction so that you can become that money magnet. Chairman 50 means you make $50,000 a month. Folks, it's possible. There are people that look like you, no matter what color you are, okay, no matter where you come from. There are Chairman 50 that reflects you in this company. Chairman 100 means you make $100,000 a month, no matter what your situation is. You know, single mom, married mom, single dad, married dad, black, blue, white, green, Chinese, American, African, does not matter. We have Chairman 100s that reflect that in this company, making $100,000 a month. There are no tricks. There are people that have done it, that are doing it. Chairman 250, $250,000 a month. Chairman 500, $500,000 a month. And we just added Chairman 750, which is $750,000 a month, folks. Okay. If you're intimidated by the numbers I just thrown up, it's okay. I get it. Are you open to be mentored for it? Okay. It may not be something that's going to happen for you in 2 years. I get it. I'm 40 years old. Took me some time to get debt free. Took me some time to make a couple million. Took me some time. So all I'm telling you, just be around and change your circle. And there's no better thing to change your circle than network marketing, because you can't decipher who has money in network marketing, right? A lot of people say, you're so humble. Well, people say that because you're imagining like, man, I can't believe this person makes this much money and they're talking to me. What? I remember going through the same process, like my millionaire mentor coming down. This is why I respect this industry, because in the real world, your CEO don't talk to you. In the real world, the executives in your job don't talk to you. They look at you. You're just a worker. You're just an hourly worker. You're not, look, it's so bad that even your managers who are on salary, they're like, I'm on salary. You're on hourly. Oh, you're on hourly. You stay with hourly people. But in network marketing, we commingle. And what my old mentor used to say is, you're the sum total of five you hang around the most. If your five are multi-millionaires, millionaires, most likely at some point you're gonna average out. Okay? You bring their income down, yours go up. That's what we call the average, right? No, seriously. Why is that the case? Because you are learning from those people. It's simple, folks. Okay? You're learning from those people and you're taking their paradigm, their beliefs, and you're applying them in your life. That's it. That's all that this is. So it's a simple decision. How do you get started? Okay? You just say yes. It's an A, B, or C. We're not looking for everybody. I'm only looking for those who are willing to work and are ready and want to contribute to progress. If you don't want to progress, this is not for you. I'm only looking for those who want to progress. Right? Tomorrow's Father's Day. For my fathers, we are the head of our house. What are we teaching our kids? Not what we're telling our kids. I watch a lot of people, we try to teach our kids what they're going to become, but they're looking at us like, but you ain't did it. I had to be an example in my house. I had to be an example for my sons, my daughters, and my wife. I can't say one thing, but do another. That's called a hypocrite. So today it's time for us to just own it. This might be hard for you. It's okay. If you're an A, that means you're ready to get started. Let someone send you the referral link. Now listen, I know it costs $235 to get started. If that is a lot of money for you, okay, I want to shift your paradigm. That's not a lot of money. I want to catch that out of your mind. Because what happens when you say, that's a lot of money? You just said $235 is a lot of money. So how are you ever going to make $1 million? Right? You just told your mind that $235 is a lot of money. So anytime opportunity comes that is above $235, your mind automatically shuts down and says, that's too much. And therefore, you'll always stay there. I want to give that to you. B, I'm ready to get started, but I got a couple questions. We're going to have a question and answer panel right after this for our men on here. Just talk about different things inside the home and financials, okay? And then C, if you stayed this long and you're not interested, doesn't mean you're not interested. It just means you got a little reserve. You're a little skeptical. Man, I was just reading The Law of Success, Self-Confidence. If you're a skepticism, he called that the worst thing you could ever have, okay? Because your mind will always reject. You'll never be successful with skepticism. And so when we talk about going all in with something, the reason I became a successful pilot is because I went all in. Listen, some people feel this. I was 22 years old. I had a Navigator with 24-inch rims back in the early 2000s. I thought I was doing it big. In my opinion, I was doing it big in the view of other people as an airman. But I sold that car. It's my first time I had a new car, big rims on it. I paid for it. It wasn't probably a good financial decision at all, I'll tell you. But I sold it because my vision got big. I wanted to become a pilot. And I bought my first airplane. I bought a Piper Cherokee 140 so I could fly around and get used to flying, because I knew that I was already behind the line when it came to my other counterparts. So going into pilot training, I wanted to be sharp. I wanted to not be scared when I was flying. I wanted to know exactly what I needed to know. So I sold my car to go get an airplane, and I did that. And I got picked up, and I went through pilot training. It was fun. Okay, this is the same thing. I had to learn this industry. I had to get around the big guys and big girls and learn what they knew. And today, I get to now pass all that information anytime I want to anybody I want. And I choose to take that information to build up men, to build up homes, to build up women too, okay? There's some single women out there, they have to be both in their household. I get it. My mom had to be both in our household for a little bit. Strong. And so this is for whoever wants it, come get it. I know that we went long today, but if you're on, you're the right person. Just know that, you know, when we're doing this, we're not doing this on a small level. This is not a sales pitch for me. If you think you're being sold, don't join, okay? I'm looking for people who are trying to be moved. And if that's you, you know, pick one of those decisions, A or B. But what I want to do is give it back to Andre. We're going to have this Q&A session here. If you're already ready to get started, go ahead, and whoever got you on here, I want you to go through the process and sign up. And shoot, let me know that you're signed up. And if you signed up, let me know. I want to celebrate you. Okay, I want to get to know you. I know we deal with thousands of people, but I want to know everybody. I was just with one of my good friends, Jas Williams. He's 27 years old, chairman of this company, serving the military as a security forces enlisted member. And I told him, I said, man, look at you, bro. Because he's farther ahead than where I was. I said, look at you, bro. You're a father, a successful father, right? You're a successful husband. You're 27 years old, making over $10,000 a month. You know, his leadership is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so that's what we're here for. We're here to lift up the next generation of people. And so if you're an older gentleman on here, it's not too late. You're going to lift up the next community as well, too. We all are, because it's strength in numbers. So back to you, Andre. I appreciate you having me on. Man, I love it. Let's go.
Hey, team. Hey, folks. Listen. Wow. Wow is all that I can say. I hope y'all caught that session right there. I hope y'all caught it. I hope you internalized it, because I know I did. And I know I didn't know what he was going to do. Man, Randy, you must have been inspired, because you went in. Randy was like, look, I'm going to give y'all the whole blueprint. So I'm not going to just show you the academy. I'm going to give you step by step. This is how you get out of here. This is how you do this. He broke down the price of gold per ounce. Folks, y'all were blessed if y'all were on here and y'all were paying attention. I need y'all to throw some fire emojis, some love, some one, something, because I'm telling you, that was the sauce. That was the heat right there. Oh, my goodness. All right, folks. Thank you, Randy. You did I already knew you was going to do a great job. I already knew. All right, folks. As you can see, this is what we're here about today, right? It's about fatherhood. This is my little bop. Most of y'all know her. She usually sits in on just about every meeting. She takes notes. She was writing notes, Randy. She had notes from what you were saying. All right. She's the
That's
one.
what it's about. That's what it's about.
Who brings me the pen and paper and says I need to take notes too, right? So she's over here keeping me on point, and I'm super excited about it. But listen, folks, if you guys got some value, you know, from what we've done so far, you know, I need you guys to show a little bit of love. I know we just threw some ones in the chat. Go ahead and throw some twos, because I think this call has been amazing. It went longer than what we thought it would, for sure. But I'm sure that the value that was given was well worth it. I do want to do one last thing. I know we've been here for a minute, but I do want to open it up for us to talk to a few of the fathers on the call real quick and just give we got about 2 questions. And what I want to do is just get a 1 or 2 minute answers, dads. We've been on for a while. We don't want to hold guests captive. If you want to stay for this part, this is going to be some extra sauce, if you will. Okay. But what we want you to do is just answer 1 or 2 of these questions. So I'm going to have the panelists that we had Jiz, we had Shannon, we had Edwin, we had Randy, and I want to invite one more gentleman on that I've had the opportunity to work with him and his wife for the last, I don't know, I guess it's a little over a year now. And we actually worked together really hard on the trading side of things. He's historically been behind the scenes, but right now he has really caught fire and caught the love of what we do is in his heart. And he wants to get up here and he wants to share. And so this will be his first time on the big stage too. So I need you to show some love to Mr. JD Davis as well as we bring him in for this quick panel discussion. And guys, I want you to know this is a big deal. This is men stepping up, doing something that makes them uncomfortable, something that they're not normally used to doing, and stepping up and serving and offering information, offering advice, offering their story and their testimony. So this is a big deal. So I'm excited to have him as well. So what I want to do is just the first question. The first question is real simple. Okay, I'm going to ask two questions, but the first one is this: what did you do before I am, and what is it that you saw when you saw the presentation that got you excited about what it is that we're doing? So I'll start off with Edwin Pender, sir. What is it that you were doing, and what got you excited about what we're doing here in this platform?
Well, everyone, like Andre said, I was a police officer here in the Bahamas for 12 years. And what happened is that I was working in McLean Sound, and I was working with this Sergeant Cassidy Smith. And he told me, he always said, man, Pender, you seem to be a decent guy. You have potentials, whatever. And he said that he wanted me to read this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. At the time, I was not a reader. I wasn't interested in reading, none of that. I was not like Randy. I wasn't interested in a book. And so I told him that I would read it. He came to me a few times and I did not read it. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to swing this guy. So after he asked me the third time, I said, listen, I'll just read the index of the book. And when he come back, I'll tell him chapter 1, speak about this, chapter 2, speak of this, whatever. And I did exactly what I said I was going to do. He said, Pender, you did not read the book. He said, no, let's make a deal. Read chapter 1 and 2, and if you cool with that, then just stop reading the book, whatever. When I read chapter 2, there's a poem that basically made me believe that whatever I had asked of life would be repaid. All I had to do was just basically make a decision and commit myself to the work. I read that poem like probably for a month, every day, twice a day. I never got to finish the book completely, because I got stuck right there, and that was it. When the opportunity was presented to me, it was like I was waiting on something to say yes to. And so that's how I became a part of this opportunity.
Awesome, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Jiz, how about you, sir?
Well, like I said, I'm a trainer in my 9 to 5. I work for a hospital conglomerate, and I train security officers. So I put together curriculums, live training, instructor-led, and also live web-based training programs. So, you know, I knew Matt from before, knew you from before. I've done a couple of things network marketing-wise, and this was a slam dunk for me. It was just, you know, it just made sense when you talked about, you know, e-learning. You talked about wanting to, you know, make money on your own. It doesn't depend on anybody else. So that was the whole thing for me is, you know, I'm wearing this shirt, and I told you I wanted to wear the other shirt because it said freedom. I got all of the I am shirts, right? So the freedom one for me is what it was all about. Randy talked about it. One of the other programs that you had us on a couple of weeks ago, one of the educators had one of those man-to-man talks, and he was like, you're the man of the household, right? So for me, it's about control and freedom. I don't like the fact that I have a 9 to 5. I don't like the fact that I have to look at how many personal days I have if I want to go to my daughter's daycare and watch her do a recital. I want to be able to take my family to vacation and not have to care about how much the ticket costs. Just where do we want to go, right? So that's the thing for me is when I saw this opportunity coming from other network marketing opportunities as well, is I know what's possible. I know that people are winning. So it's not like somebody is telling me a pipe dream of, you know, work hard and hustle and do this and you can become a millionaire. They're saying this is the game plan and there are people already doing it. So for me, it was a no-brainer. It's just, where do I sign? As you know, I signed up the same day you guys showed me the presentation.
There we go. Make a decision. Let's go. All right, bro. Thank you. JD, how about you, bro? What did you see, and what got you excited when you saw it, and what did you do before this? You can unmute yourself. Hold on one second. Let me unmute you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, for me, it's about generational growth. I have to maintain who I am and where I want to be in terms of my children and my grandchildren. I am a grandfather, okay? I come from very messed up beginnings, no blueprint. So I'm very blessed to be in this panel amongst these very accomplished, beautiful Black men. And I say beautiful, and I can say that because that's what it is, because I can't cuss on here, because I'm an unfiltered individual. But anyway, I saw this and I had to get involved because my wife and I has always been on the chase of being entrepreneurs, right? So I said, okay, when I found this, I presented it to my rib. I may be the head, my wife is the body, okay? Because I don't care how strong that head is, it can't move without the body. My wife is the body. So I presented this to my wife. She signed off reluctantly, of course, because it's fearful. We had to be willing to jump. Let's jump. Let's go ahead and jump. So we jumped. And I have no regrets, not one whatsoever. So I give thanks to every person in this chat. And I pray love, truth, peace, and justice on everyone here, that we still grind and rise in what we are looking to do. Because that's the point. Because only you and I can do for you and I. That's it. I'm a simple person. Call it what you want. That's it.
Absolutely, bro. I'm excited. Hey, Randy, I'm excited to hear more, bro. I can't wait. We got JD coming, bro. He's coming. I'm telling you, he's gonna. Hey, man, I love this brother. I'm telling you, he got that authority in his voice, right? He got that, like, he speaks with confidence. He's made a decision. I made a decision. I asked my wife, but we was doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love it. All right. Hey, Shannon, same thing to you, bro. What did you do before, and what got you excited?
What do? I slang coke, man. You know, I'm a bulk merchandiser for Coca-Cola bottling company, man. So that's what I do. And I wanted some freedom. I wanted an outlet. I've always been looking for something better. That's not something I'm going to be able to do with that company for up into my upper years. But to be straightforward and honest with you, why I signed on and why I joined is because Randy and Wanda and the rest of the team was doing it. FOMO. I did not want to get left behind because I trusted Randy and Wanda in their leadership, and I knew that I would never be led into nothing that wasn't safe and secure for my family. I trust the familyhood that they have created with their family, the fatherhood that he has, the mother that she is, and just what they bring to the entire organization. So I was just gonna find out about it later, no matter what I heard. I just knew they were doing it, and I was ready to get going. But to close with that, I just see myself in the future being able to just accomplish goals without having to worry about them. If it's something that I see that I'm gonna want to be able to do for myself or my children, no matter what it may be, the effort that is gonna would take is not gonna be there. It's not gonna be having to get another job or us buckling down penny pension or things of that nature. You know, we're going to have the assets already. There's not going to be debt that we have to worry about not being able to cover trying to do a new venture or whatever. And possibly and hopefully whatever things that we do in the future, they will always be paid for with cash instead of creating debt. Thank you.
Awesome. So I think, Randy, you actually touched on that a little bit when you were talking. So what I want to do, if you don't mind, is I'm going to have you close us out at the end. I'm going to go ahead and ask these brothers one or two more questions, and I'll have a special question for you at the end, and then you can close us out. Is that all right? So listen, if you guys heard, there's a couple nuggets dropped in that first thing. One, people made a decision. They saw that they wanted to go someplace different than where they were at. And then the second nugget is that I trusted the person who invited me. I think that's important. You know, a lot of times as men, oftentimes we are filled with a lot of skepticism. But that idea of I trusted my friend, that he wasn't gonna involve me in something to do any harm. I think that's something that we can build upon. That's a nation building block right there, is that I trusted my brother. I am my brother's keeper, and I trusted him. So that was powerful, bro. So listen, let me ask the next question real quick, and this is kind of a twofold question to just combine it in one. But what has your experience been in terms of your journey of learning how to trade, and more importantly, how do you see this for your children as a dad, right? Like you saw, I have my little girl here. I see Shannon has his children around. My little girl is literally on every single call. And the beautiful part about it is I don't have to force her. She does it. Like her playtime is she sets up Zoom meetings and does meetings, and she sets up little dolls, and she's actually talking about the same things that Randy and Wanda are talking about and stuff like that. And so how do you guys see this playing out in your households and being able to break the generational curses and generational poverty, so to speak? We'll start with Edwin Pender.
Well, Andre, the thing that always stick in my mind when I think about this whole opportunity is that I always tell persons when they ask me, hey, bro, you're talking about this trading thing, how much money can I make? This is the first time that you actually have total control of the income that you make. And so if you make 5 figures a year in trading, that is totally up to you, because it is a result of the time and the effort you put into learning the skill set. And so if this whole opportunity is supposed to actually set you free or set your family free, you're the one to decide that. And like I said, it goes back to something I always tell my team. Once you make a decision and you commit yourself to the work that's required, success will come. And I laughed at something a few days back, because my son, my oldest son now, is on another island with his mom. And he said to me when we talked, he said, Dad, I heard you on a call. And he saw me on Facebook Live, and he said, I laugh, you would say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever. But he kind of cracked a joke about it, but I felt proud knowing that my son was able to watch me spread some information that could change the world. And so like I had opportunities where being a part of my organization here in Freeport, also being assisted by our chairman, Randy Webb, I was able to actually go out there in the community and physically help some people who was having challenges with groceries and stuff like that, whatever. And going out that day, he actually wanted to talk to me, and I said, baby, Daddy, I will call you back later. I'm going to help some people who don't have no food. I'm going to give some grocery. And so he's actually putting this stuff in a situation where he hearing me talking about these things. And these are the things that, like I said earlier, the only thing that is coming out of me is what my dad instilled in me when I was younger. And so I'm trying to actually instill in my kids a heart for helping people. Just yesterday, I was informed of a situation where there's another family who, when it rained, they have to wait until the rain hold up, and they have to sweep the water out their house. They don't have no food. The stove isn't working, the fridge, whatever. And so I have to just spring up, even out of the lack that I may have in my personal life, get up, get some resources to help some people. And I know that I was not able to help the persons on a bigger scale because I don't respect the opportunity as much as I should have respected. I suppose to actually be at the point right now where I should have been able to park a trailer in the front of that apartment and basically help a lot of people. And so this opportunity to me every day just exposed me as to why I need to plug in a little bit more, because God requires that much more of us to help his people. So that's my 5 cents.
Awesome. Jiz, same question.
Me, it's really about, like you said, many of the previous speaker said before, it's about the legacy. It's about being able to provide opportunities for my daughters. I have 2 daughters. Whatever they need, whatever they want. So they're both 5 and 6 right now. My oldest is about to be 7. They both love to dance. They both love to sing. If they say, hey, daddy, I want to go to gymnastics school, I just asked my brother-in-law, is there a gymnastics schools in the neighborhood that where I can send them to? I don't want to have to think, how much does that cost? You know, and I know gymnastics is not cheap, right? So if they one day come to me and say, I want to learn how to play the piano, not only do I want to be able to buy them a piano, but I want to be able to hire an instructor for them, right? And then thinking long term, I don't want to have to say, oh, we need to, like Shannon said, pinch pennies and put together a 529 plan so that our kids can go to college and could put some money towards college. Where do you want to go? You know, debt free, go to college, right? So for me, my thing is thinking long term on what I want is I want to be able to put my kids in a position that my parents weren't fortunate enough to do for me. Is I want to be able to pass on that knowledge, like you said, learning about money. Because the advice my parents gave me is work hard and get a good job and try to stay out of debt. But they didn't know how to build wealth, right? My parents were, my father has entrepreneurial spirit, but he didn't have that wealth community, right? So he made some mistakes, trial and error, and I could learn a little bit from him, but he never got to that next level. So with this, I see this is an opportunity where I can get to the next level because I'm plugged into a wealth community and my daughters are gonna be immediately plugged into it. It's not even gonna be optional. They're gonna learn how to ride their bikes. They're gonna learn how to drive a car. They're gonna learn how to trade forex. That's gonna be part of their adult education. It's not even optional.
Thank you, bro. JD, same thing for you, bro. Let me get you squared away.
My goal is to eliminate the excuses. Okay? The excuses. My goal is to teach my children and my grandchildren to create opportunities for themselves.
Wow.
Your situation is not written in stone. It is yours to build. It is yours to create. It is yours to make what you want it to be. You do not have to be in your situation. Make up your damn mind to take care of your business, okay? Take care of your damn business and leave all the bull crap behind now, because what you don't have is an absentee father. I'm here. You don't have an absentee mother. She's there. I have books. I have references, everything that they need to grow. And I am a walking encyclopedia. Use that. Use the elders to build yourself. I am an elder now, so I put into them what the word say. Teach your child to learn where you want them to go. Build them up. So I build my babies up. What I do now is not for me. It's for them. It's for them. It's not for me. It's for them. Eliminate the damn excuses. Build up and be what you need to be. It's very simple. The concept is very simple. Rely on a system of justice in your own mind to guarantee that no one is mistreated. Anyone who needs the most help gets the most constructive help. So if you leave it on the table, you left it on the table. You left it there. No one cut you out. You did it on your own. So my heart goes out to Brother Randy Webb, Andre English, and every other brother here. Steel sharpens steel. Wood don't sharpen no damn steel, man. It don't happen. You want to be sharp? Then go get better. Deal with people who are better, and you will get sharp. Jump your butt off that cliff, spread your wings, man, and start to fly. And that's for my grandchildren, for my children, for my great-grandchildren, and so on and so forth. You cannot say you did not know. That's my push. That's my why. And it's very harsh, but it's fair. It's very fair. And that's why I love Randy Webb. This is a brother from Compton. Man, do you know what was going on in Compton, California when this man was growing up, man? And he bypassed all of that. And I'm older than him. I'm older than him. Ain't no excuses. I'm inspired by every man on this panel. If you fall into the traps, then you're fooling yourself. Do not. Stand tall. Do what needs to be done. Do and deal with the tools been handed to you and take care of your business. Period. I'm done. I don't have anything to say.
Awesome.
I'm done.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Same question, Shannon. Same question.
Cool. Oh man, great answers from everybody so far. For me, I am in this academy and the community, wealth community that we have became a part of is just a game changer for me. My financial future and outlook is totally different than it was 2 years ago. And it's going to continue to be. And the thing about it is what I'm envisioning right now is not the same thing that I'm going to be able to envision months on down the line. It's a steady ongoing process, especially with me doing the trading and enhancing my skills instead of gaining knowledge in that aspect, and also doing the building side and instead of hitting ranks and gaining, increasing my residuals. So the possibilities are endless. I'm glad that I'm an example for my children to show them that they do not have to depend on school. That can be an option. They can go if they want to. The job force can be something that they want. They'll be able to go get a job that they are passionate about and want to do. And that's something that they have to do to bring income and take care of themselves and their family. So work is going to have a totally different meaning. And it's actually probably not going to be called work in our household. It's going to be just going to do my passion. It's going to probably replace the word of work is what I'm looking forward to. And they're just going to have a sense of financial literacy. They're going to know what the dollar is, what it's doing. They're going to know what the economy is doing and how it affects them and their future. And they're going to know how to be a player in that space and partake and not be caught off guard by the recessions and the things that happen, the downfalls with the economy and society, like with this pandemic that we're dealing with. They're going to be well prepared for that. And it's not going to catch them off guard. And that's what I'm aspiring to do for myself and my family with this.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. All right, folks. Well, listen, we have heard some fantastic information. We have heard about the academy. We've learned about trading. We've had some incredible testimonials from fathers. We learned about business building and all kinds of things from Mr. Randy Webb. And so we're getting ready to close out this session today. And I got to tell you what, I couldn't be more inspired and more proud. I want to tell y'all a little secret. I want to let y'all in on a little secret here. Okay. I was excited about the idea of doing a father power event. And I want y'all to know this. And as you can see, I'm a proud dad. Like, I'm a girl dad, #girl dad. You know, I'm super proud being a dad. I geek out about it, right? Like, I just like being a dad. I like being a father, because even though I did have a man step into my life to be my father, I never knew my biological father. Never met him one day in my life. Okay. Didn't even meet his family until I was 43 years old. And so I always wanted to make sure that when I became a dad, that my children would know who I was, that they would have a father. So this call for me was emotional. This call for me meant something. It meant something. And here's what I want to tell you about these fathers, these men, is that we pulled this together in less than 24 hours, folks. When I called and said, hey, listen, would you be willing? They had no hesitation. And they said, yes, let's put this thing together. Let's put an event together. Let's do something for the dads. So in that spirit, I need you guys to show these fathers that poured into you all day long from 12 noon all the way into 8 p.m. tonight. And I need you guys to give them some love. Throw them some ones in the chat to say thank you, because I'm telling you guys, they did not have to do this. Some of them rearranged schedules. There was other conflicting events. All kinds of things went into this, but they wanted to step up and show out for all the fathers and show what it is that we have our platform and how it's been able to change lives. You know, I've been taught a long time ago that the true definition of success is how many people are better off because you lived. The true definition of success is how many people are better off because you lived. And if you accept that definition, then you have to say that this Father Power event was a true success. Because if you were on this call and there's 20 people that have stayed all the way up until now, then you have to have gotten some value out of this call tonight. And that means that we have done our job because we have poured into you. We've offered you the best that we have. Everybody came with an open heart, an open mind, and they poured into you tonight. And so I'm going to stop talking. And I'm going to turn this over with one last question to the leader of our particular team, the leader of our particular wealth community, him and his wife, Wanda Webb. And I say that without hesitation because he's a man worth following. It's a family worth following. And I say that. And so what I want to do is that I believe that when you are a leader, one of the great things that you do as a leader is cast a vision as to where we're going as a community, cast a vision of where we see ourselves going within this space. And I know through the leadership calls, the mentorship calls, and all the stuff that we have a leader on the call. So I want us to finish the call tonight. I will not come back. I'm not saying another word, Randy. When you're done, we are done. But I want you to share that where you see us going as Legacy Worldwide, as dads, how we can impact going forward. And, you know, we've been on for a long time. So when you're done talking, you're done talking. But share with us where you see us going in the future. And I turn it over to you, sir.
And you said something powerful there. It's a law. Remember I talked about these laws. It's called law of succession. Okay. And in our community, we have to find someone who's not only going to replace us, and that typically is our kids. Okay. So what we do today will impact our kids. And remember passing that baton. So I want to go to your question, then I'll close out and what we can do as fathers for our household. Okay. You know, there's a book called Outliers. Okay. Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Pick it up. Okay. I know I read a lot of books. If you don't want to read it, get the audio books here, but I'm going to give you a summary version. Okay. Because fathers, you're a big part. I'm just talking about who I am. Okay. I grew up in a single family home from the age of 9 years old. I was the oldest of 5 siblings. Okay. So I did get to see my father in the home up until about 9 years old, full time in the home. And my father had some issues that he was dealing with a lot of past stuff. Understand, as people, we are progressing through a lot of things. So I got to look into what my father did. And I believe that my father did the best that he can do at the time that he was with the family. And I have a great relationship with my father. Okay. I believe that being a father is one of the greatest positions that you can hold as a man. It's not your job. It's not how much money you make. It's being a father. And what you do as a father, that succession, I can look at, see how great of a father you were based off not just your kids, you know, we say your grandkids, okay? Because we're responsible for that. Not them, we are. What they learn from us, our actions, okay? And of course, some of us, we have to break the cycle. Maybe we didn't see that success. We gained another father. Andre, I heard your talk. You said my biological father, but you had a father that stepped in. And so some of us, based off what we can do and how we move, we can be fathers to the fatherless. Yes, I got 5 biological kids, but there are people that I can lead outside of that as well too. Other young men that I can lead as well too, that you can lead as well too. So the best thing that we can do on this earth right now is apply the law of succession. Teach someone everything that you know so that you can create a legacy and they can do better than you did. See, I did my job as my kids can excel farther than I did. And here's the vision for my kids. What do we need in this world? See, sometimes you can look and say, why don't we have this? And why don't we have this? And why don't we have this? And the question is because you were meant to go out and get it. So I want to see more lawyers that look like us out there, more congressmen and women out there, more presidents out there that resemble what America looks like or what your location looks like. And how do we do that? Okay. I pass the baton the right way. All my kids listen. Sometimes, because we don't know what to do sometimes, how do we get our kids to do what they want? Well, our kids don't know any better. Do you realize if you train your kids, whatever it is, if I want my child to be the best lawyer they possibly be, all I gotta do is apply and get them to do something 10,000 hours of it. If I want them to be a professional basketball player, swimmer, be in the Olympics, whatever it is, I want you guys to start thinking, have a definite aim for what you want your kids to be. Your kids will, like a lot of us, we used to say, well, I'm just gonna let them be what they want to be. They don't know sometimes. So we're gonna have to go farm and agriculture what it is that they want to become. Hey, do you want to be a swimmer? Do you want to be this? What I will tell you in the Webb household, a majority of my kids, all of them will probably go to law school. Why? Because a lot of this is based on law. Whether they become lawyers, that doesn't matter. The point that I put them through school, that's going to be their obstacle that I'm going to put them through. Anything else is extra, okay? But I have a definite aim. Lawyers, learning what the laws are, learning how to apply them, learning how to change people, learning about how to run your own charity, learning how to be a successful, multiply a million, couple million to more. They must succeed me. So all of us, we're put in position to apply the law of succession and teach our kids everything that we know and some. And if we don't have those tools, we must get them in front of someone who has those tools. That's it. And the great thing about IM, it gives us all those tools to do that. It gives you the finances potentially to do those things that you want to do. And so I know some of us have hard lives. Yes, I was born and raised in Compton, California, and I've been through every part of it, from fighting every day, from gang infested territory, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, all of it. Okay, I can tell you, I'm definitely proof that you can change. I don't have the same friends, unfortunately. Okay, your friends sometimes you gotta leave behind. Either they're gonna come and grow with you, or they're gonna be behind. Because understand this, when we talk about the power of your circle, right? Either you're gonna be leading your circle to the top, or that's done. Fathers, you are your children's circle. Okay, you want them to become successful baseball players. More time. When I was 9 years old, I remember just my dad, he had to work so much during the time that he was there. He was a construction worker. He had to work so much he couldn't be at my baseball games. My mom was at my baseball games. That's okay. I understand now. But now today, I do understand the power of me being at any of my son's sports games or farming, okay, contributing to their success. We are a big portion of their success. If they're not successful, it's us. I want you to understand that, man. If our kids are not successful, it's us. Because we get to now develop them right now. 10,000 hours of something, right? I can tell you guys funny stories where you can see, let's talk about, the Jacksons. This is on a high level, but Joe Jackson beat his kids, but don't beat, now I'm not saying beat your kids, but I want to talk about the hours he put in. If you put hours in your kids in something, they will be successful at it. They will. They don't know any better. I was a great baseball player. Okay. In 11th grade, I decided I wanted to hang out with my boys. Right. My mom couldn't tell me otherwise. I stopped baseball in my 11th year. Knowing what I know today, I would never have done that. But I knew that God had other plans for me. Obviously, I love the position I'm in now because I have a big contribution to the world doing this. But I also know that anything that you put time into, anything that you focus on is going to grow bigger. So this is why I say that fathers, we have the biggest impact. My son just walked in here. I love it. My younger son, man, Elijah, and then of course Xavier's my genius. Okay, Xavier had to be a little bit more independent because daddy wasn't there per se. Not that I didn't want to. I was deployed to Iraq. Okay, 4 to 8 months out of the year. So he spent a majority of time with mom. My son, I just catch him like he just always want to be around dad, want to be just like dad. I spent the most time at home with him. All that he knows is I was here. And all day long, Daddy, I love you. Daddy, can I just get a hug? Like, Daddy, you're such a nice person. Like, this is my younger son saying this. And funny stuff too. They watch your character. My son, my wife made a joke. She's like, Elijah comes up and said, Daddy don't cuss. Like if he heard Mom, Daddy don't cuss. And then when he did hear me say a cuss word, he said it only one time. But I told him don't do that. It's a prime example that our kids watch exactly what we do. Exactly what we do. And so one of the greatest things that I can give you, be the best father you can be, whatever that is for you. Okay? Set the best example that you can set. This world is hard. Black men, this world is hard. I know. We all went through the same. but men in general, it's hard. But we got to keep trucking so that when we get ready to pass that baton, we pass that baton in the right position. And I'm not saying I don't want lazy kids. So I have to put them through things. They got to earn it. I got to give them the same journey I went through so that they can succeed me, not live off me. And so that's what we do. That's what we have, folks. The reason we named our team Legacy Worldwide, we named this team Legacy Worldwide 7.5 years ago. You see, we're in a different company today. The vision never changed. The vision is to impact right now, because it's going to grow bigger, 100,000 families by 2021. And how we expand that is we each become educators and teachers. Each one teach one. And every day, do your best to reach out to 10 or more, men, women, doesn't matter, and impact households. Teach them what you know. You don't gotta charge. I don't charge for what I know in real estate. You come to me and say, I want to invest in my first property. I'll teach you. That's what it's about. Legacy. In everything that we do, we will continually leave a legacy, which basically banks on, that's another law. From law of succession comes the law of legacy. The law of legacy is when you gave everything that you had and you pushed it down and they become better than you. So men, and even the ladies on here, let's continually leave our legacy. That's our night. Thank you all for being on this whole time. Let's get it.
Yeah.